Happy New Year!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Adventures in Silvernell. Tonight, episode 60, the season finale of The Second Coming. We're going to play some D&D with four of my good friends tonight, Michael Williams, Michael Jackson, Mariah Johnson, and welcome them back, Mr. Frank Martinez. Dare I ask how everyone is doing tonight?
I'm in a glass case of emotions.
Well, let's try not to
hiccups.
punt Baxter off a bridge. All right.
I'm back!
Before we begin, let's get an update from our sponsor, Grimstone Goods. What you got for us?
Thank you, Scotty. I'm going to shed a little bit more light. Flashing. So I showed the group last night, but nowhere on stream. The mask, I showed everybody last week the mask that Mariah was kind enough to get me for Christmas. But it had these clear panels on it that you could see through. Now, I'm not planning on wearing this in any fashion where I would really need to see out of it. So I sculpted some cosplay clay.
Kind
of match the scale pattern there. The nostrils also served as like extra way of looking, and they were just giant. So I sculpted them down some to make them look a little more natural.
Oh, hell yeah.
And then I fixed the eyes so they're constantly forward. They don't move with the teeth anymore because that looked a bit wonky in my opinion. And then I primed the whole thing black. So I'm waiting on a shipment of crocodile skin pleather that I got from another artist on Etsy. Got some sheets of that to go underneath the chin that will cover up my chin and neck. And then that's going to go underneath a section that I'm going to add to the top of the head to be sticking feathers in. And I'm going to try to make kind of like a feather piece to go down the back of like what the neck would be.
Yeah, that's dope.
And I think I'm going to pull his teeth out and make new teeth. The top teeth are okay, but I hate the bottom teeth. But I think I'm going to sculpt my own bottom teeth.
So yeah,
that's the update on the Drix cosplay.
Thanks, Grimstone. Want to thank everybody for jumping into the chat. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Thank you for coming to our season finale. It's good to see some of you guys who've never commented before start to comment. Thank you, Super Gigglebot. Thank you, Neutron. Thank you, BB Grimes. Thank you, everybody, for being here. For everyone watching on Twitch specifically, just want to let you know there are the channel points called Rooter. The more you watch, the more Rooter you get. Well, tonight would be the night to spend them. Click on the little rooter and it will give you options to buy, and you can make things happen in the game. So you can give our players advantage, you can make different things happen. So check out that list during it. Other than that, thank you for watching us on Facebook or YouTube. We really appreciate it. Before we jump into our synopsis, I just want to take a moment to show everybody where we've been. And Evan has redeemed for the first NPC to be named after her. So that first NPC tonight will be named Evan. She spent 6,000 Rooter points. But let's look at our map, the map of Silvernell. So over the course of this entire adventure, all these pink lines that you can see on your screen are where our characters have been. They've spent most of their time in the Kol Bradur jungle, trying to save this jungle, hopping from town to kingdom. There was a bit where we jumped into the Fire Plane, Mount Vizix, and went to the Ash Palace. There was a time we jumped into the Feywild / Born Freon, to the Fairy Thicket, White Pearl Lake, and Dingadoody Forest. I just want to say it has been an epic adventure. Oh yeah, and then we went to the Asmar Plains. So, but there is still so much to explore that we will explore in subsequent games here. You guys want to say anything? Just reflecting back on where we've been in this whole world. I'm just putting you on the spot.
For that small map, there's a lot. There's a lot there.
Oh yeah, it's like really crammed, especially Artenia Kingdom.
Yeah.
I think I hold record for creating the most characters with crazy backstories, just plopping up around Scott's world. Because I just keep making it, and I'm like, oh yeah, random thing, and I'm like, yeah, and I'm like, oh, that's my place now. And I'm like, oh cool, now I know a thing, and I'm like, oh, and then I'm creating facts.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Cool. Let's get into it. All right. Last time on episode 59 of The Second Coming, Orogth, Asgarath had been defeated. Summersong and Thrut had ascended to godhood. Summersong, the god of time. Thrut, the god of the hunt. We had Drix and Zeph dealing with the emotional impact of losing someone they truly cared about. And also at the same time, finally, for the first time, slowing down after such a long time of going. And eventually they made their way back to the Ardinia Kingdom, where Zeph became a representative for the entire city of Ravenforge in the Ardinia Council, and Drix became the new council member for the entire tribal country. We ended last session on them crawling on the outside of the castle up in the Ardinia Kingdom and into Drix's office, which used to be Thrut's office. Yes, which is incredibly bare, after he shattered the window to get in.
With his face.
And that's where we're going to start tonight, with them standing in that room. Just those two, eye to eye. Welcome back.
As I was saying, I'm going to need some dirt.
Well, I think you can probably convince some of the palace staff to help you with that.
Yes. Okay, mechanics question.
Sure.
I have a spell that lets me bring trees to life. Could I conceive of a way to cast that along with my Druid Grove ability to create a tree within the tree using the tree that's already here?
The tree would grow from this tree. If the tree needed to stay alive, it would probably need to stay connected to this tree. But if it just needed to chill for now, it could break off.
I want the office to be like a tree. I don't want it to be a room. I'm having a hard time describing what I'm picturing up here.
For the walls to break and for it just to be a tree?
Yeah, I want it to be like a pocket in the tree.
I mean, use your ability to make the tree grow and break the walls down. Just don't do the left wall, because that's a wall to another office.
Yeah, I'll do the corner, with the window. I imagine it's a corner office, because
it is. On the third floor.
So then that's what Drix is gonna do. He's just gonna kneel down and jam his claws into the floor to cast this hybrid spell to make the tree pull away the walls and extend out a little bit, and it's going to turn into a nice open, almost pointed garage door with a little landing, so I can turn into a pteranodon and come and go as I please.
As the walls start crashing down and the tree is growing, this Drix is just moving this around. Why don't we take a moment for people who are new too, and just describe, you go first, Drix, and then Zeph, describe what you look like and who you are.
So Drix is a Circle of the Land druid, Path of the Beast barbarian, Death Domain cleric. He is a lizard folk, and lizard folk in this homebrew world have a couple of different lineages, and his lineage is tied directly to the dinosaurs of Kol Bradur. So he really looks like a velociraptor person. I have a drawing somewhere that I probably could pull up and screen share if you want. But anyway, his skin, most of his skin is this kind of albino white tint, and he's got thin strips of red, especially close to his back. The head and going down his neck and down his back is all these feathers and plumes and little ridges and spines. And then his most recent physical change is starting around his eyes, which are an amber, yellow amber color. This black blotches appeared, and now he's got these black stripes that run down the sides of his body. He's got a really long tail, like his tail is proportionately longer than most other lizard folks. What does that mean? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, and he's
Not the size of the tail that matters.
It's the way you swing it.
It's how you use it.
The way
You can use it to attack people.
It's the motion.
He just carried Zeph up the side of the building using it. So
that was
anyway.
a very like, George of the Jungle kind of.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, and Zeph?
It very much was.
So Zeph currently is only a level 8 fighter champion and level 5 Storm Herald barbarian. She has lost all of her cleric levels, which were 21, which was pretty freaking high. So she is kind of back to a little bit more basics, though she hasn't truly, I don't think, come to terms with what she has lost because she hasn't tried to use anything yet. So she's been through several different, well, this is her second change in appearance, but right now her skin is very dark, almost like a dark gray purple, and her hair is black. Her eyes are piercing white, and normally she has just a bunch of static electricity and a little bit of air flowing through her hair, which she still kind of has because she still has her air genasi trait. But the most recent change for her, since she has lost all her cleric levels, is that now she is getting all these streaks of white back in her hair, whereas before she had very, very white hair. And she went black when she got more like in depth. And so she's getting some like streaks of white back in her hair. And the kind of the markings on her face are also, instead of being a very dark black, are turning white.
Boom, 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 boom. There's a knock on the front door of the tree office.
How do you open the door?
Well, I mean, I assume it's just the door, right?
Oh, that's not a tree anymore. It's not like a.
I didn't change that part. I just changed
okay.
Yeah. I'll go over. I'll open the door with my tail.
As this whoosh, grabs the knob, spins it, and the door flies open. They are standing a little 5'2" lizard folk worker, dressed just like all the other workers in this kingdom castle. Kind of got frills up to her neck. This female, she looks like she's been crying. She kind of wipes it away, looks at the office that's now decimated and become very tree-like. Oh, excuse me. I've been asked to retrieve Representative Zeph and Representative Drix's paperwork to finalize the representative. Pardon me.
I'm sorry. What's the matter?
Oh, don't worry about me. I'm so sorry. Please, don't tell them.
Tell who?
Tell them what?
She's gonna look down the hall. It's really some personal problems I'm dealing with. But please, if you could just give me your paperwork, I will turn it in for you.
Look at Zeph and lean in, and I have not filled out any paperwork.
I don't think they gave us paperwork.
Hey, but I do. Where is it here? Where is the paper?
You see no paperwork on the desk that was ripped apart.
Is the desk? Do you still have drawers? Can you check in?
I mean, I kind of imagined like the tree branches making a desk.
Okay, yeah.
It looks like the sandstones in here, like everything has this like organic.
There was only a desk in that room before.
Okay.
I'll look at the woman and she's like, oh, I'm sorry. What is your name?
Oh, my name is Evan.
Evan. Okay. Well, we don't have the paperwork ready, but I'm sure I have it in my office and we can fill it out. But it might take a bit. Would you like to come in? I mean, I'm very curious on
I
why
only
you're so
need
upset.
the last copy on the back side. The rest can be done later.
I'm gonna rummage through the desk scraps to see if my paperwork's there.
Yeah, in the process of the room and the tree morphing around the desk that was there and breaking it and making it part of this tree, there are different papers like stuck in different branches. And you see one that's got lines for signatures on it.
I was like, there, right there.
Okay. Drix is gonna do the thing where he sticks a claw in his mouth and signs it with blood because it's canon.
Thank you so much.
Let it dry. It'll take a moment.
I'm sure it won't get wet.
Whatever is the matter with you?
Well, since you asked multiple times.
We did.
We did.
There is a great friend of mine named Wilkie, who I've heard that you've known.
Yeah.
And she retrieved some help from me, very, very powerful wizard in Vial. And I paid a lot of good money to bring back a dragonborn friend of mine that had gone missing. But whenever this wizard had wished my friend back, they came back not at all like they were before. In fact, not an ounce of them was the same. And I just worry I'll never see my dragonborn friend again.
What was different about them?
Everything. Not even their memories were the same.
Were they physically different?
Yes.
How so?
They were a completely different race. They had different eyes, different minds. They didn't even remember me. I just don't know if there's any way I could ever bring back my friend.
Doesn't sound like the same person.
Is this person here in the kingdom?
They are back at Vial. We found it best that they would stay there. They have nothing left here. And please, I did not mean to drag you down with my sad tales of my friend Lathuna. Listen, if Zeph, I will just go, and if you'll just give me that last paper, then I'm sure all will be good.
Do you have another piece of paper here?
Naomi had your paperwork. Because she was in it was her office.
It was her office.
She has your, I'm pretty sure she gave. I'm pretty sure Naomi gave her.
She told you guys it was on the desk in her office. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, fine.
Okay.
We can go back.
We can.
Here. We'll all three of us will go.
We'll walk to my office.
Go to Zeph's office.
Thank you.
And get the paper signed. Is the wizard that helped you with this still in the kingdom, or are they back in Vial as well?
They are back in Vial as well.
Curious. Who does this new person think they are? Did they tell you a name?
They thought their name was Tanya.
Peculiar.
The wizard had theories that something horrible had happened to the Dragonborn, almost as if they had never existed. So to bring back someone who had never existed, there was no one to bring back. It's almost as if the wish just brought someone back.
Drix is going to kind of lean closer to Zeph. I think I would like to find this wizard. I have an hunch.
About the Dragonborn?
About Hina. Hina was not a Dragonborn until we made her a Dragonborn.
The girl says, well, I'll meet you down in Naomi's office, I guess now her office, but if you want my opinion, I won't even make you ask multiple times. The wizard told me there is no way to bring back the Dragonborn. I'm sorry.
What is this wizard's name?
Lo.
I'm sorry about your friend.
Yes, as am I. I know the feeling.
I will get you the paperwork as soon as possible. We're heading there now.
Thank you.
All right. I rummage through my desk.
As
Fine,
you walk
paper.
down the hallway, because he's on the corner
okay.
of the 3rd floor, as you walk down
Oh,
and
that's
go
right,
to
we
the
have a way.
steps, as you're going down the steps, you hear, "I think I know how to find my friends." As you get down the steps and get down to the 1st floor down the hall, you see there are a couple workers that are like trying to like stop and follow lumbering Orogth walking this way. Please describe for our viewers again what Orogth looks like and who he is.
Orogth is a paladin / sorcerer Goliath. He stands at 8 feet tall, bald beauty, muscular, and doesn't take no for an answer and kicks shit in and asks for forgiveness later.
Apt.
All right, you come face to face with Orogth as workers are behind him like, "I'm so sorry."
I run up and I give Orogth a hug. Orogth! How the hell are you?
Pretty good. I'm trying to get past these little people that don't think I know you. Can you please tell them that I know you so they'll leave me alone?
Give him some space. He's with us.
He's all yours. They march away.
Surprised to see you here, Orogth.
Well, I was coming to, I guess, help with whatever you needed.
You missed the big fight, bud.
Of course I did. Why do you guys have all the fun without me? Wait, where's Summersong?
Oh, about that.
Summersong. This is a complicated subject. Can we walk and talk?
Yes.
Yes.
You are familiar with the circumstance involving Thrut and his ascension to the new god of the hunt, yes?
Yes.
In order to defeat Asgrath, a similar sacrifice had to be made. Summersong elected to take on that burden, and he has also ascended as the new god of time.
Wow. A god.
Yeah.
So what are you guys doing?
I guess we're council members now. Just like I'll nudge Drix. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah. We will have to find those that can speak in our stead here, though. I do not think Drix is going to kind of glance over at Zeph. Our fates are tethered to Ardinia and Kol Bradur.
No, they're not.
We do have a few things we would like to take care of, though, and you are always welcome to accompany us. I'm not sure how much smashing will need to happen, but if any pops up, you get first dibs.
You know I'm always down to help my friends.
Yes, and we count ourselves lucky that you consider us friends.
All right, so you get down to the office, which is the closest office, polar opposite. You go in, right on the desk is there. Evan is waiting for you at the door as you pick up the paper. There's a quill. You sign the paper, hand it to her. She thanks you, and as soon as she walks out, there's an armoire to the left against the wall. It just rattles.
Drix is gonna immediately go into like a defensive position and like snarl.
Hold on. Hello? Is somebody there? Okay, Drix, go.
I'm gonna like whip my tail at the handles just to rip the doors open.
They fly off across the room. There's like a couple dangling coats that were left by Perrymore before Naomi, but there's nothing in the armoire. And then the whole thing shakes again.
I want to walk closer to it.
I want to move. I want to move behind. Yeah, move the armoire away.
All right, as you guys work together to slowly move this armoire, behind it, where there is a wall, is instead this swirling, like, cat eye of, like, smoke and black energy that seems to be some sort of portal where you can see through it into the hallway of a disheveled Ardinia kingdom. And slowly around the corner, you see, introduce yourself, Cream.
So we're in the Ardinia castle. So he's on this. Really, you see a quasi like horse kind of thing. You don't really see a person, and it's kind of so you see this horse is kind of flopping around, and I guess kind of did it also disappear in front of me?
The horse disappears?
No, did this portal thing just appear in front of me? Am I like also just now seeing it as they're seeing it,
No.
looking through it?
Yeah, you were looking through it and pushing on that armor.
It kind of this horse thing kind of flops through this, I guess, armoire, and there's a very, and if you kind of squint your eyes, and there's a very small halfling sitting atop it. Very hard to see. It's a 24 natural stealth. He's like always hiding, so some people just like can't see. He's always like rolling around this horse, always like running around things, but just kind of sitting up there, and he's like, where am I? What happened? What is this? Who are you? What's going on?
This is the Ardinia Kingdom. That's a peculiar window you just crawled through. Who are you?
Peculiar window you just created. Who are you?
I am called Drix.
I am Zeph. We didn't create that window.
Yes.
I didn't create this window.
He's so
Saw the
funny,
window.
guys.
Orogth, did you create a window?
I didn't create a window,
They're
but I
just-
want to smash this little thing.
Wait.
Give it a moment.
These are all over.
What? They're all over.
Yeah, and I kind of point behind me. I guess like back through the portal if I've crossed through it.
Yeah.
Drix is gonna like inspect the portal a little bit more. What do I see on the other side? Like, is it like this same room and area, but
Yes.
or is it an entirely different location?
It's the same exact room on the other side.
It's like
But
like
destroyed.
Destroyed.
You guys are alive? I didn't think there'd be this many of you. Are there more of you?
Depends on what your definition of you is.
You people alive? You?
Yes, lots
All of you? Are there more of you?
Lots of people. Yes.
Yes.
Lots. There's not lots of people anywhere.
Well,
There
there are not people by you?
There's no. Where are we? I'm looking for the heirs of Chotuku. Do you know that myth, legend? You know the. Does any of this sound? Do you know who Chotuku is? I don't know what you
Yes.
know. This is interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
We do know who Chotuku
Yes.
is.
Right? Do you know where his heirs are? I'm looking for. There's other. No.
We
one
have
knows
no clue what you're talking
I
about.
have never been
as far as
referred to
heirs.
as an heir of Chotuku, but I was called a son of Chotuku.
where-
I suppose a son is a typical heir in most familial death and earnings.
Yeah, it's a myth. I don't know. Okay, so you're a son of Chotuku.
Yeah.
Wording's weird here. Okay, guys. So you are good at. So Asgrath, are you like familiar with Asgrath?
Yes, killed him.
Yes.
Yeah, he's gone. Mistress of the Hunt, not gone. Got to deal with that. So I need a. We have a, Chotuku. We have a bad Chotuku. I need someone from here to help us fight that. We don't have any sons of Chotuku. Asgrath killed them a long time ago, and we're kind of just, if they're real, which I don't believe, but you say you're them. I have no proof to say otherwise. Then I really don't have any options. So
Wait. You have a bad Chotuku?
the Mistress of the Hunt, a brutal assassin raised by Asgrath, now is a vicious killer. Yes.
I just looked at Drix. I was like, this is a whole different world.
Do you have a good Chotuku? There was a good Chotuku, but he died.
Who killed him?
I guess. What?
Who killed him?
I don't know. I guess Asgraf did.
Hmm.
We have now we have the Mistress of the Hunt. She stands as, well, she was his right hand, and then she became God Killer when she killed Asgrath, and now she is that Chotuku.
Your world sounds
Lovely.
complicated in a very different way than ours does.
I mean, there's a lot more people in your world I see. I haven't seen this many people in one room in a long time, so that's interesting.
I wonder if the calamity that has affected. I'm sorry, what was your name?
Oh, I didn't say my name.
Oh, very well. Whatever this small person's world, the calamity that has affected it might have been a result of time being broken. And since we had just only recently repaired it.
Well,
This
no,
random nameless person, thanks to 6,000 Ritter points, lets out a large, unexplained burp.
No, Asgraf destroyed everything. He came from the Feywilds and he ravaged the land for 100 years.
Do you
And
have
now
a
we're
god
kind
of time in your world?
No, never heard of a god of time. There's Asgrath and yeah, and the Mistress of the Hunt.
Chotuku. Okay.
Who is this Mistress of the Hunt?
That's
Sounds
her
like
name.
Orogth.
The Mistress of the Hunt. She's an assassin. That's her name, though.
And those are the only two deities you have in your world?
Well, they don't really let other people do really many things. They kind of just kill us, which is what Asgraf did for a long time until he got killed by his own protege, Mistress of the Hunt. And now she's just, kind of wiping the rest of us out.
Sounds
I
like
came here to get help. All these little rips I've been seeing, they said don't go into them, but last ditch effort because we're all dying.
Where did these rips come from?
Oh, that I don't know.
So you're just on your own, just trying to find people to fight a god for you?
Yeah.
That's your
and
mission.
you don't want to tell us your name.
My name's Cream.
Cream. Oh, okay.
Okay.
That makes sense.
You're taking on a very big role.
Well,
just by yourself. You don't have any other members with you?
Oh, there are other members, but just not many of us. And there's so many of these little portals we don't really know where they go. We just kind of found one, and I was like, I guess. I came to Ardinia because there's supposed to be someone here, but then I found this here. Then I found someone, so I found you guys, but not what I was expecting. And he's kind of like scanning the room. Not what I was expecting at all, really. But
No. You want us to come back with you?
Yeah.
As he points back,
information.
As he points back in the same room,
all the information
through the portal on the other side of the room, there's just a shadowy, cloaked figure standing there.
Friend of yours?
I turn around. I don't really, like I said, didn't really come with anyone. Can I make a perception check to see what this figure looks like?
How far away are they?
The distance of the room you're in, so maybe 15 feet on the other side.
I use my ring of telekinesis to pull them closer.
Sure. As you go to do that, it just turns into a mist.
I don't have a good feeling about that.
No, not at all.
And actually, as it turns to mist, the only reason it turned to mist is because you pulled something through it. And as you pull it through and it comes to your hand, you realize it's the severed head of you.
Shit.
Of Drix.
Well, very unsettling.
I don't like that at all.
Well, looks like you brought some wanting visitors.
Well, like I said, these rips are everywhere, so I guess if I can just come through, anything can as well. And I don't know where they go, so
Do you know
hopefully
how to close them?
I don't know how they opened. They just opened.
Can I cast Detect Magic on the rift?
Yes, it is that same primordial magic of Wadabraharak.
So similar to the portal that leads into the Fae. Okay. Weird. Or no, you mean the orb.
Yeah, the orb.
Oh, okay. That's weirder. Okay.
Now Watule. What about Haru?
We can't leave this open.
No, we cannot. But I am not. We don't know anything about it. How to even close it?
Also, there might be more because, there's one here, but like I've seen on the other side, like through there where I'm from, there's a lot of those. So I guess there could be more here as well.
We need to find Moxie and get someone with a better arcane understanding studying this portal.
But do we have time?
Well, we should.
We have all the time in the world now.
All the time in two worlds.
Dot. I don't know that guy. He's not. I don't know him. I know lots of people from my world, and I don't know that guy. Well, I know him because he looks like you. He looks like me.
I think I look over at Drix. Maybe we should keep him for answers.
You pointing at me?
Yeah.
Pointing at his head.
I'm pointing at you. I tell that.
He doesn't seem like he knows a lot.
What do you know? Do you know how to close portals?
I don't.
So we know the same thing. Who are you, big man? I sit on this horse and I'm
Orogth.
eye to eye with you.
What's with the horse?
As Cream sits on his high horse.
I hold up my leg. I have small legs. I had to get here. It took a long time. Our DNA castle's not close.
Do you think there are dragonborn where he's from?
Yes.
Or
Well, probably not. If whoever.
There's not many people at all from where he's from.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a dragonborn, Scott? I don't know if they're in the populace of.
Yes, you've seen a dragonborn.
Seen dragon people.
I'm gonna actually kneel back down and take that head of Drix, and I'm gonna cast Speak with Dead.
What are you doing?
Beautiful. Describe to me what happens.
So this is the first time. This is cool. So as Drix looks down at his own severed head, his eyes cloud black, and the black stripes that go down his body almost seems to give off this mist, and it pools down and around his hand as he reaches down and grabs it, and again that black cloud almost like liquid smoke pours into the mouth, the nostrils, and the eyes. And it animates the head.
Okay, in your hands.
Yeah.
Okay. And is it just a conversation, or is it a one sentence? What is it?
Oh, I just had it. God damn it. It can answer questions I pose.
Okay. Ask away. How long does it last?
10 minutes.
All right.
It knows everything it knew in life, and any languages that it knew when it was alive.
All right. Talk to your dead self.
Pretty much it. Who or what killed you?
The mistress of the hunt killed me.
Curious. Describe the fight to me.
Summersong and Escanor and Baylor and Abza and I, we're hanging out at Escanor's home. You know, the dirty place.
Yeah.
And a rip in time had opened. That is where the mistress of the hunt and her goons approached. My allies fought valiantly, but were no good against her abilities. It only stung the more when she revealed her true self.
What would you say is her true self?
Hina Myagi-do.
Complicates things.
That does.
Yeah, she's going different timelines and killing people. That's crazy.
Oh. I don't even know where to fucking begin.
What is Hina's appearance? Ask that. I don't know if I can speak with dead either, so I'm just asking Drix.
I mean, it's like it's animated, so it's not like it can't hear you.
Right, but
I will compel it to answer.
oh, okay.
Hina is a much older version of herself in my timeline. I was only able to see Hina grow up to maybe 40 or 50. This Hina looked older, still as beautiful as the last time I saw her.
Does it sound like my Hina? Or my Mistress of the Hunt?
Yes.
Do you know what happened to her to make her the mistress of the hunt?
Where I am from,
Oh,
Escanor Doom had tried to convince some assassins that Hina was the child of the prophecy. We thwarted his plans. Perhaps there are some that still believe this.
In where I'm from, the Mistress of the Hunt's former title was the Godchild. So I guess you could be talking about the same person, but then she became the God Killer, and then she became Mistress of the Hunt. We never really had a real name for her, but
And
no one really lives long enough to learn those kind of names.
what is your... Do you have any sort of connection or relationship to Asgarath?
Asgarath? No, I do not see a connection. Do you speak of Asgarath, the dragon god?
Yes.
I do not see how he plays into any of this.
You had no connection to Asgarath?
No.
This is so difficult. Because I could do some crazy shit right now. And I'm tempted.
It's the last time. Do it.
I'm real fucking tempted. I'm going to cast Reincarnate on my own severed head of myself.
Okay. Do you roll for the race?
Yeah, you got to roll D100.
Who's going to roll this time?
All right. Is it a D100?
Dragonborn.
Yeah, D100. Hold on, I'll give you the... I need to pull up the expanded list.
All right,
No Dragonborn, no Dragonborn, no
let me
Dragonborn.
roll. Oh, that would suck.
We've already been down this path once, Scott.
I will use my DM inspiration to re-roll that shit if it's a fucking Dragonborn.
All right,
Nice.
so the first one I got is a 67.
All right, give me a second. 67. Well, that's not the right list at all.
Not at all. Oh, you.
An Aarakocra.
Oh, all right. So
That's actually weirdly appropriate because dinosaurs evolved into birds.
So from your hand, this severed, rotten head of old Drix levitates outwards, before its face starts to vibrate and a plumage of feathers starts appearing on its face, and then its body in this spectral form goes down before it solidifies into this large green feathered Aarakocra with this large brown plumage tail that flies out almost like a nine-tails. Kind of flies out, and it lands with these big talons on the ground and stands up with this big brown beak in front of you.
God, that was
I
crazy.
consider this an
It
upgrade.
just got weird.
I love magic. Oh, it's so good.
Our friend Cream here has told us a story that relates to yours quite significantly. Looking for someone to kill your Mistress of the Hunt.
Yeah, I think my Mistress of the Hunt killed you.
I see. Okay.
Oh, yeah, and it's kind of point at the gun. So,
Mistress had killed me.
seems
Because
like she's
BB
kinda-
Grimes has redeemed a random problem with 4,500 Rooter, my memory has grown foggier.
Oh,
Thank you, chat. It might take me longer to remember such details. In fact, I feel quite sick. Excuse me while I up Chuck.
I don't know if he still has these mannerisms, but he's a bird now.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, man.
I'm worried that she's, the whole thing about the Mistress is like she likes a challenge. So I feel like she's, we didn't challenge her, which is why she keeps killing everyone because no one wins the fight. And I feel like if she's going into these other worlds and killing people, that is a problem.
Drix is gonna listen and kind of nod at that, and he's gonna look over at Zeph for a moment. Linger there. And he's gonna look down. I was literally created to fight gods. We can't have another mad god killer running around through portals causing whatever havoc they see fit. And if it is Hina, perhaps there's some way we can reason with her. Maybe she knew us. I don't know. I do know that I'm more than willing to issue a challenge if that is what is necessary. I didn't spend the last month. How long has it been? Month and a half?
It's over a month if you ask me. If you ask Michael Jackson, it's been like 4 days.
Listen, we still have 3 days until Incantica, which started 2 weeks ago. You can't keep moving the calendar.
Drix's perception is very skewed because he went back in time twice. His perception of time. So however long it's been.
Yeah, however long.
Time's weird here.
I've lost. God damn it! Now it's my fucking train of thought again. Fucking time travel. Happy to issue a challenge. I didn't spend the last however long it's been bringing people back to life and nearly dying and running my ass off with a god ghost on my back to have some jackass ripping around and fucking shit up.
So we fucking shit up? Is that what I'm hearing?
I agree. I agree that we didn't just save this whole, Earth or planet for nothing. So, yes, we'll need to do something, but we have to know a little bit more before jumping through a portal.
Did you say you saved the world?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, we did. Sorry.
Oh, you did also say you killed Asgarath. So I guess in this timeline that adds up.
Yes.
Okay, that was just processing that. Continue.
I have the potions of Demiplane.
You do.
I have a question.
Yeah.
You claim you killed Asgarath, and this small person says Asgarath is gone in their world too. Are they correlated?
Well, I can't. Well, the Mistress of the Hunt said she killed Asgarath. I cannot confirm or deny the validity of that statement because Asgrath is a big bad guy who is factually no longer around. I assume he is dead and that she killed him. But that's all I know. Like, I didn't see a body, you know? I live underground. I do see lots of bodies, though. Asgraths.
It raises the question, why would my head be tossed to you?
That does indeed raise some questions.
Well,
Hina knew you.
And knew that I could bring someone back. That's how I brought her back.
Now, how she knew you would be here?
Well,
She
this
the person
moment,
in the cloak?
Me.
Portal.
Because I think
Right,
this connects to my world. So I think if the Mistress of the Hunt was following me, then that would land.
But how did she know that you would find us and not some other random person?
Well, I think she just wants to kill whoever's out there, and there's not many people. So I was out, so I was a target, which is why I have the horse, because you got to be fast or you die. And so she was probably on my trail. But then
the preparation of all of that, just having Drix's head with her.
Oh well,
why would she not just kill you now?
She's taunting us.
Yeah,
she wants a challenge. Maybe if you killed Asgrath, you could be a challenge for her since she killed Asgrath.
What kind of resources do you actually have in your world? How many people are alive to fight? Do you have any?
Me? In my world?
Yeah.
Oh.
Nothing.
I came to a different timeline seeking resources.
You don't have.
I got me. There's a couple of us left. We were hoping, that there were other people in Ardinia Castle. I did learn that is not true. But then I found you guys in this rip. So I guess technically kind of true. But on my side of it, yeah, not a lot. Like less, not a lot.
Well, in my world, I have a great bevy of resources. I have followers who call themselves the Diminished. Yes.
Yes.
Nope,
oh, good.
Oh, we have the Substratum. Yeah, we have cool words, but there's only like 10 of them. So
the Substratum.
Yeah, they train us. I don't know if I'm supposed to. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. But yeah, they train us. Well, they trained us.
That unwittingly makes Drix very wary of Cream all of a sudden.
I look at Drix. I was like, what's that word to you?
Criminal organization in Kol Bradur. Thieves and assassins. Do not know if they are still here on this timeline. It's not a thread that I have had the opportunity to pursue. But we had some dealings with them before we changed the timeline. Not the most savory of characters. Greedy, manipulative. But perhaps things are different in their world. I mean, what do you think of your Diminished?
They are a great group of individual druids who help me. We are planning an attack against the duplicates. We have tried to make peace with Abza, but now that he is dead, there is no one to stop us against his duplicates.
Well, I will make a bargain with you. Should I call you Drix?
I would call me Drix 2.0.
Drix 2.0. Is that Italian? I will strike a bargain with you. If you agree to help us in any way you can in dealing with this Mistress of the Hunt situation, I will give you something to turn the tide of your conflict with the duplicants.
Deal. But I do wonder, if these are rips in time, where is Asteria in all of this?
A new time god has been appointed, ascended, an associate of ours, Sir Zeph and Summersong. This only happened recently, but I'll admit I don't really understand the logistics of any of it. Perhaps with the new ascension, it takes some time for the time god to see to things. Time was broken, and our mission here was to repair it. Killing Asgarath was just a necessary component of that greater plan. Do you have a means of communing with Ishtiri in your world?
There are those who pray to the god of time, though I can't say I know of anyone who still praises him.
Interesting. How? So you. I'm okay. I guess we're gonna go try to figure out this Mistress of the Hunt situation. If it is Hina and there is some connection to that Hina and our Hina, we will find it. And if not, then I will challenge her.
Interesting. Well,
If there's a you here and a him here, does that mean there's a me here?
It is likely. I have run into several copies of myself over the last month or so.
in my world, there are no copies. We found a man who cloned, named Jermaine Ambro. I ended his life.
Yes, you and I have that in common then.
High five.
We also don't have clones where I come from, so there's that.
Myself and Zeph here are both clones. In our timeline, the original version of me, or us, turned his back on his people and sided with Asgarath. I ended him. That is what I was created for. And then to subsequently fight Asgarath to save Kol Bradur and all of Silvernell. Orogth, want to go to another dimension and fight a god?
Oh, yeah.
Do you have any means of finding this Mistress of the Hunt? Or is it a she finds you sort of deal?
Me?
Yes, you, Cream.
Well, yeah, typically the whole point is to not get found by the Mistress of the Hunt, so you gotta hide. So I guess if you don't hide, she finds you. Stands to reason. She's really good at what she does, which is also really good at what she does. You should probably hit first. You know, I don't know if she's gonna want to chat, so you might want to have to make her chat with your magics.
Definitely gonna want to. I mean, she just threw a head at you, your head at you. She knows exactly what that did.
I just don't want you to get stabbed.
I am hard to kill.
I feel like worse has been thrown at us.
Orogth, you have no idea. Once all of this is settled, you and I are going to sit down, have a drink, and I'm going to tell you a tale. Have you ever?
Oh, I can't wait. Oh, I can't wait.
So Drix, I guess, is just going to look at this portal and just go inside. Like, you know what else to do.
All right, it's the same room.
As well.
As you guys walk in, it's the same room that you're in. It's completely destroyed. The window is shattered, but you can immediately see out the window. The skies are black. Trees are burning. There are no pterodactyls, no dinosaurs flying around. The world seems barren and dead. The door is open. Through the door, you can see the hallway. As you just lean your head out, knowing you're on the first floor room closest to the inside of the castle, the opposite side, which are all the other rooms and the other floors, is missing. It just overlooks the jungle, and there's like 4 rotten corpses of pteranodons just like on spits, just hanging off. It is the apocalypse.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I already miss your guys' side. Well, welcome to Silvernell. Or Kol Bradur. I guess so it's the same. Yeah.
Question. If she was able to find me, and she was able to find you, and Cream says there are other timelines open, perhaps there is more us's.
It's also interesting that did these things all open near Drix's? Do all these lead to a Drix?
Interesting.
If she
Can
came
we
out of your
look
portal, then
into
so be it.
other portals?
I'm not sure what kind of like timeline we're up against, but if I can sit down for a second, I can do my like meditation, try to reach out to another Drix.
I can do that as well.
Oh shit! All right.
Yeah, so if they start doing that,
Symbol.
if they start doing that, then I will start. I will put my dagger in the ground, or I will put my rapier on the ground, and I'll start ritual casting Tiny Hutt so that it can sit inside of that.
Beautiful.
You know what? Just for shits and giggles, since we're in a different timeline, I'm going to put my flame blade up in the air, and I'm going to call Mariah and see what I get.
Oh God!
Oh God!
Every time he calls this bird back, if you needed
I
someone to
know.
come to us, this was the way to get their attention. A giant flaming bird.
This is the way to get their attention. Exactly.
And I will
Watch
tell
the
you
zapper.
what happens after a 10-minute bathroom break.
Why does it always end with Mariah showing up?
All right, we will see everybody in 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere, Twitch. We will convene again for the season finale of the second coming. See you, bitches.
Happy birthday!
All right, everybody, welcome
Merry
back to the
Christmas.
Adventures Silvernell, second coming, episode 60, season finale. We just left off with Drix 1.0 and Drix 2.0, both all... Oh, I turned them off. Hold on. I want my red light.
Like, what?
Yes. They're both reaching out to their alternate Drix selves, so I will let that Drix go first.
So yeah, Drix just extends his mind out to whoever the nearest one is that isn't Drix 2.0.
That'd be funny. You just talk to each other.
All right.
Hey.
Seeing if there are any Drixes that serve the greater good. Which Stax did tell me that was only the one that went bad. Because he's attached himself to lots of Drixes. But anyway, any Drixes serving the greater good.
This primal sense that we haven't used in quite some bit. A little dusty, but it works again. Who am I? Who's got me on speaker?
I don't know.
All right, it stopped as soon as I asked. The speaker was like, oh. You immediately see through the eyes of another Drix. And what you see is Hina. And she is sitting on a stump in the jungle. And she's saying, it's unlike anything I've ever seen. I mean, it was myself. I came to me, and I asked me to come with myself, and now I'm here. And you hear in his voice, yes, but you must tell me, Hina. Where did she take you exactly? She took me to a place. I don't know. It wasn't of my world. Whatever it was in my time, we don't have this place. And how many more of there were you? I told you at least 10. And were all of these Hinas like you? No. One of them looked nothing like me. I only knew she was Hina when I asked. And were they all as gentle as you? And she says, no. Some of them were quite vile. They called themselves Mistress of the Hunt. How many mistresses? At least 4. Interesting. I will protect you, Hina. I will get you back to your timeline. There is nothing to fear, for I am lost in mine as well. cry.
Can he hear me?
What are you saying?
Or is it just like remote viewing?
No, it works the same as it did before.
No. Drix.
Drix.
I'm not exactly sure what is going on, but fate has seen it fit to draw some of us together. Have to find this mistress of the hunt. Have to challenge her.
Yes.
Is your world being plagued by rips or tears into other places?
Only one. I was brought here where there seems to be many rips in time. We are not alone, brother.
I am uncertain of how we may go about it, but I feel it is important that we find one another.
I have reached out to a Drix with this same sense, and it is obviously not you. I can confirm a handful of Drixes in this world. Perhaps if we send a message through us, we can find her.
Yes. That stands as good a chance as anything else, I suppose.
But I must tell you, I am on my way currently to get Hina back home. She has been taken from her time. I can send a message, but other than that, I will not be very useful until I get her safely back home.
I understand. Looking for our own Hina as well. Do what you can and keep her safe. Don't think that this mistress of the hunt is done with us, so watch your back.
If you do need to find me, we are going towards a rip in time in the jungle near the bottom of the Ardinia Kingdom. Be safe.
You as well.
Both you and the other Drix 2.0 come out of your vision talking to a Drix.
What did you learn?
Drix is by the substratum. The mistress of the hunt has attacked the substratum.
Here?
Yes, in this
this
timeline.
world?
There are many
you-
rips in this timeline, apparently.
Yes.
Hey, Veilcast?
Yes.
That's where everyone who lives in this world is. So if they died, there's literally the resources you asked about, they're all there. And if they're gone, if she's there, it's me.
Do you have a means of getting to Veilcast in a timely manner?
He looks at his horse.
Veilcast is northeast of
Northeast. Yeah.
Ardinia.
Yeah.
Okay. Conceivably, how quickly could we fly there if I wild shape?
What's the speed?
It's a great question, Scott. Oh my God, fat, stupid fingers. I hate that keyboard. I hate this keyboard. 80.
Yeah, you could get there maybe a little over 3/4 a day.
Okay. So we head to Veilcast. That is where the substratum is.
Mm-hmm.
Good thing you
Awesome.
Good thing you reincarnated into something that can fly.
Yes, luck is on our side.
I look over at Orogth. Is Mariah with us?
That's a great question.
Nothing?
Nope.
Great.
You you're went through the portal and like looking into the hallway. You can hear yells through the portal coming from the hallway on the other world.
It's so hot.
She's trying to get in.
Whose bird is this?
Drix is gonna look at the other Drix, bird Drix. Is this your world? Is this your timeline?
No.
Don't suppose you have any means of quick travel, then?
I can travel through plants, but I must see them.
Yes, don't think that seeing the trees in my veil cast would necessarily count.
What about the potion that you have, Drix?
It's potion of demi-plane. I think it take me to another, like it's not a teleportation
Right.
potion. That would be the only way we would be able to get there. But I can't learn that spell.
Perhaps one of the Drixes we spoke to is of this world. And in that case, I mean, he told us the bottom of the Ardinia Kingdom. Perhaps he could take us there.
Yes, the Drix that I spoke with was at the bottom of the kingdom as well. I suppose that's
there's a Drix in my world.
There's not?
Yeah. I would
I'm
imagine
pretty sure they all died.
Yeah.
Like a while ago.
Yes, I know that some of us that are scattered across the timelines, their fate is much more grim. At least from a certain point of view, I suppose. Suppose starting at the base of the Ardinia Kingdom is just as good as any other place, and if we can't bring any other quicker means of travel with this other Drix, then we will all fly there.
Very well.
I'm going to pull Drix aside real quick. I need to talk to you real quick.
Of course.
Before you wild shape. I just need you to know that things are a little different for me now. When I rejected Talos, I lost all of my cleric abilities. I am no longer attached to him, and I do not have his power anymore. Which means I'm a little squishier.
I do not want to indirectly put you in harm's way, but you are your own person.
I'm ready to go on this journey with you. I'm ready. I just need you to know that I'm not going to be able to do what I normally do.
Do what you can, but please keep yourself safe. And I will do the same.
Okay. I'll try.
I do not mean to interrupt, Drix.
Yes.
Zeph. I have an idea. Perhaps if you go down where you are going at the base of the kingdom, and you meet this other Drix, perhaps you will be seen. I will fly up into the sky and get a bird's eye view of any approaching Hinas and alert you.
Very well. That's as good a plan as any. You, Cream, I imagine you're good at hiding.
You hear in your head. Yeah, and you should probably lower your voices. I know you want her to find you, but she's gonna come.
Duly noted. Orogth, when the time is right, you'll know what to do.
Oh, I was born ready.
Drix is gonna. I mean, so we're like in the council building, but it's all like smashed open, right?
Yeah. So if here's the castle entrance, and then here's the castle, and here's the council room. There's a hallway that goes off to where all the council members stay, and then Zeph's office is the closest here. Drix's office would be like way over here. Everything from here to there is smashed and gone. So like the rest of the castle's good.
So I could wild shape and we could just dive to the bottom of the tree.
Si, senor.
Okay. Then I will wild shape into a Quetzalcoatlus. It's a huge flying creature.
Yep.
and everybody should be able. I should be able to carry everyone since he's a halfling.
It's small boy.
Orogth and Zeph can get on my back, and I will pick up Cream and dive bomb to the base of the tree and catch ourselves before he lands and ends the wild shape.
As you fly down, other Drix flies out and above, and you just hear him say, "I will let you know." As you fly down, maybe about 100 feet off, you see a glow in the jungle.
I'm good. I roll a stealth to hide. It's 27.
Okay.
Creep hits the ground and he's like,
I feel like Orogth just like creamed himself. No pun intended. Cream.
he's gone.
It's gone.
Drix is going to cast Find Familiar. And I want to, my new familiar going forward, if you're cool with it, I want it to be a dire hummingbird. Do you know what the dire is before? Like,
Yeah.
So it's just like a slightly bigger, wilder looking hummingbird. Like a prehistoric hummingbird.
Sure.
And I'm gonna send it towards that light.
Okay.
To check it out and relay to me what's going on.
It's going to relay to you that it is an open portal, one of the same time portals that you just came through, a timeline rip, so to speak.
God dang it!
Then I will approach. What do we see looking through it?
As soon as you get close to this rip, out fly four of it, these giant spiky dog lion animal mixes from the hole, and levitating upwards is Escanor Doom. And he says, "People of the alternate timeline, I am your new leader." Roll for initiative.
Oh my
God.
What?
I got a dirty 20.
I have the strangest erection right now.
This is gonna feel so good.
Oh God!
Looks like Michael gets his fight after all.
You do have some idea, so I'm not going to say that. You do have some idea.
All right, everybody get it ready. I'll go ahead and put you on the map here. I'll show everybody our battle map here at home. You are hidden, Cream.
Oh yeah, baby.
23.
All right,
I got
second.
a 20. Oh.
1 second. Just so I can get everybody on the board here. All right.
You can also type it in roll 20 to click on those numbers.
Oh, that's true. 23. Zeph, what'd you get?
21.
21. Drix?
17.
17.
Oh, I'm going to eat his fucking head off.
Oh, look at the ass. And I was like, yeah! Yeah, I'm a dream!
14.
Only in D&D you can eat ass on camera.
That's true. I'm about to...
he got a 22.
His ass is definitely getting eat.
Oh, fucking clobbering time.
You guys. All right. So, this is going to be the order of this combat. It is Orogth, Escanor Doom, Zeph, Cream, Drix, and then 4 thirsty dogs.
Oh.
Before we begin, I just want to point out that Cream is hidden in the bushes, and Escanor is currently flying upwards. Orogth, let's go, baby.
Oh, so he's like... So how far up is he, Scott? Like,
it's only about like 10 feet.
Upward.
The portal's on the ground. It's not like the one that you guys went in that's against the wall. This one's on the ground.
So if like we stepped in that portal, theoretically, are we going to go through it?
Yes. You'll do this. You'll fall in it while falling up, and then just like gravity will take you back down, and you'll fall back. You'll just be like caught in one of those like.
That sounds horrible.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that at all.
Drix has telekinesis. It's okay. He'll just
eventually, I can't go near that.
And I don't have to expend a spell slot to use it.
Yes, if you go into that portal, you'll have to roll a dexterity saving throw or be stuck in a weird thing and find a way out of it.
Yeah, no, that sounds like a terrible, terrible thing. How far is this SOB from me?
I just feel like Escanor Doom's like an unsuccessful like Loki.
Is that what it is?
I mean, I guess that's his vibe. Yeah.
That is kind of his vibe. I will not disagree with that.
But then
assessment.
again, saying
All right,
unsuccessful
well.
Loki is kind of an oxymoron. Or redundant, I guess.
Whoa. First of all,
Well, he was.
Detective Loki's great.
I mean,
Some
Very-
sure, but
some
he did
Lokis
not
are great.
successfully stop
he's
Sylvie.
not successful
So
at doing things, but he's very successful in
some-
spirit.
Some Lokis are great. Some Lokis suck.
Yeah.
Some Lokis.
All right, well, let's get this party started. I'm going to cast Destructive Wave on Mr. Sir Escanor Doom.
ooh. All right, what happens?
All right, well, first I got to see if it hits. Let's see if that happens. Does a 29 hit, Scott?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
We're going to start the party off hot. Each creature that I choose within 30 feet must succeed on a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, so he's got to roll a Constitution saving throw.
Si, senor.
And
He's
so
between
do
us.
these two creatures.
He got 13.
Because they're all within 30 feet.
Is it
yeah.
a cone? What is it? Is it center
What
on
do
the
you
point?
Destructive
Like, you
wave.
This
center it
is
on
you
the point.
strike the ground, creating a burst of energy that erupts.
Okay,
Each
yeah.
creature you choose within
It's a
30
30-foot
feet.
Sphere.
Okay, so it'll be Escanor and the two thirsty dogs. The other ones are 40 feet. So Escanor got a 13.
Okay, each creature you choose within 30 feet of you, so you can just pick all 5 of them and be like,
No.
you get hit by it.
No, because the other two are 40 feet from him.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, just
Yeah,
like
the
30
other
feet,
two
yeah,
are 40
So
from
it's
me.
like 30 feet of you. My bad.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
that translation.
He can move up.
13,
Take some steps.
15, and a 16.
What did you say?
13,
Yeah.
a 15, and a 16.
They all failed.
Escanor had
Yeah,
the
they all
13.
fell.
I already know
They all
that.
fell. So let me go ahead and roll my damage. Ooh, they have to. 10d6s. This is nice.
Oh my god.
Yeah, first they're going to take 5d6 of thunder damage as well as 5d6 of either radiant or necrotic damage.
Yeah, you roll it. You roll it.
This is going to be
And be
fun.
knocked prone.
Yep. Lord Escanor Dune gets knocked prone. Would that mean he gets caught in the hole? Because I knocked him down?
So he was using a flying ability because he like jumped in. He was using a flying ability. So if you knock him prone, gravity still works here. It knocks him to the hole. So yeah, he's like caught in this like.
That thing we just mentioned is happening now. Great, I love it.
But since he's constantly moving, any attack now against him would be disadvantaged because he's like constantly going up and down, and he would have to use a flying ability to get out of that.
All right, so he's going to take 30 points. The two dogs and him will take 30 points in thunder damage.
Okay.
And then they'll take...
And he will too? Is it you say that him too?
Yes.
Okay.
And then they'll take 22 points of radiant damage, all three of them.
Okay. Great start. Great start.
All right. I'm done.
All right, it
well,
is
maybe he'll get out of
his
this.
turn. I guess he can use it again. It'll take a spell slot. Yeah.
Use those spells, girl.
He's going to fly. What's the speed of fly?
60 feet?
He's going to go over 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He's just going to go over here to this bush in this area right there while yelling, "Ha ha! You cannot stop me. I will produce power like the Terminator, like John Wick." It is
God.
Zeph's turn.
Jesus. All right. Zeph is pissed to see Escanor. The last time she saw him, he fucking wiped her ass out.
Great. This is cathartic for lots of people. I see. Everyone wants this fight.
So she, I don't, Scott, my character sheet is a little wonky because I lost all the cleric things.
Yes.
But it says I have a speed of 40. I've gained a speed of 40 back in the day. I mean, am I back to 30? Or
I don't. Did you get that from being a cleric? Do you remember?
no, I got it just from
Then just
when I
keep
leveled
it.
up as barbarian. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a barbarian.
Yeah, it's a barbarian.
It's a
thing, so
barbarian.
that's why you're.
Yeah,
so
you
okay,
should be.
great,
you're
great,
good.
Why my speed
Great.
went up.
So I'm 45 feet away. I want to run at him.
Do it.
5 feet away. Okay.
Run up to him in rage. Just like.
Yeah, I'm gonna run at him.
It will give the thirsty dog attack of opportunity if you run past him, though.
They're not prone.
We're just gonna go. Well, I think he got up. Oh wait,
No, he didn't get up. He didn't get up.
No, the
Wait, so
dogs
then
are all not
He can
prone.
have
his
he can
speed?
have an attack at disadvantage as you run by to just like.
Yeah, it'd have to be at disadvantage.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's fine. Still going that way. I have nothing will stop me.
Because it's a
Flying
reaction.
horse.
Nothing will stop me.
So I'm running up
Rage.
right to him, and I'm gonna rage, and I'm gonna use
Wait,
my storm aura.
Yep. 1 second. Let me
Okay.
just give. He's gonna try to
Get
claw
it.
you 12,
Get it.
17, 18. It is a 19 hit.
No, that does not hit.
All right, it misses. You jump over the claw as you run past.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna run at him. I'm going to use my storm aura, and rage, and I'm going to choose. Oh God, which one do I want to choose?
Make it hurt. Make it hurt. Make it hurt.
Yeah.
Make it
Also,
sting.
is he like? Is he on the ground, or is he like? Is there any sort of level?
Yeah, he's standing like over some bush, like just standing on some bushes. He's still
I'm
like
gonna
technically
use-
floating, I guess, but only like a couple feet above the ground.
A hover, if you will.
Hover, yeah.
I'm gonna use my desert aura. So in 10 feet all around me, they take 2 fire damage. Everybody within 10 feet takes 2 fire damage, and the damage increases when you reach certain levels. So right now I am at 5th level. So it's 3 for 5th level. So 3 fire damage.
Just no matter what.
Just no matter what.
Okay.
No save.
Yeah, elemental side
Just
is showing.
All right.
I like it.
And
Yeah.
all around me, this like desert, the sand, the storm brushes
Yeah.
away all of the greenage. So probably the bush is kind of toast around me.
Yeah, it just kind of ignites really fast around them and just as quickly
Great.
as it ignites, it disappears.
And then I'm going to use I'm going to use my reckless attack for my first attack against him,
Mm-hmm.
which gives me advantage. So I'm going to use my Mace Windu,
Oh God.
which I still have.
I'm gonna have to make like a cheat sheet.
And that one wasn't good, but I'm so glad I used that.
What'd you get?
Oh, okay. I got a 20.
Yep, that
Not
hits.
that, but okay, great. So I'm gonna hit him with. So when I rage, just because I have never played a barbarian, what does that add to my melee weapon?
Depending on your level, it adds more damage dice.
Okay.
So like mine adds I get like a +4 to all my melee attacks. Yours is probably a +4 too, because
You
I
have advantage on strength checks. You make so it's a +3, I think, because of my strength. So, right. All right. Okay. Gonna do that.
because I'm stronger than you. That's why. Okay. Why is my
Whose phone has been vibrating
somebody's buzzing?
That's
constantly?
not me.
I'm not important.
I don't think it's me.
It ain't me. I blame Frank. He got
I
friends.
got no. All right.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Sorry. So I have so it hits. I got 22 bludgeoning.
Ouch.
Well, +3. So 25 25 bludgeoning. And do I still get the thunder damage from Mace Windu?
Yeah, because that was a magical item thing, unless
The
it was a
magical
cleric
item.
thing. I don't remember.
No,
No, it's just a magical item.
Well, then,
Okay.
yeah.
And then 6 thunder damage.
6 thunder. Cool.
And then I'm going to do an action surge, and I'm gonna hit him again.
All right, go for it.
Yeah.
Just know Cream is on deck and then Drix.
You did what?
Cream is on deck and then Drix, you nasty. You freaking nasty.
Cream?
I'm
We're creaming?
not sure that's could ever be uttered again.
It's gonna have to come up again every time we get into fight. It's like,
Right.
Cream's on deck.
Does a 19
Game.
Yes, 19 hits.
hits? Okay. And so that's 28 bludgeoning and 4 thunder damage.
28-32. Gotcha. Ouch! He's hurting.
You look bloody.
Yeah, he looks pretty bloody.
So that's nice.
Is that it?
Bitch.
And I get it. Do I just automatically get an extra attack with Barbarian? Like, is that
You might
I
get it
just
from Fighter.
automatically have 2 attacks?
You get it from fighter. I actually
Yeah.
get it from
You probably
both.
would have it. Yeah. You
So I
probably
think I get another attack.
Yeah, you know that. Yeah, you get 2
Use
from
your action surge,
attacking, and then
I
action
get-
surge is
I
another
get-
attack.
but you get 2
Okay,
attacks.
so I get 2 attacks. Okay, so I'm doing another attack with my.
All right,
Oh my
go ahead.
god.
I'm just gonna, sorry, I was
Go
just figuring
ahead,
all
girl.
this
She
out.
said, "I hate
Okay.
you."
It's a 20.
All right, yeah.
That hit. Okay, and
Take
then,
it out, girl.
18 plus. So 21 bludgeoning and 12 thunder damage.
21 and 12.
So
All right,
33.
33. Okay. Ouch, yeah. It's really bloody.
Okay.
Super bloody. All right, Cream.
Well, I was gonna attack Doom, but he looks like he's getting really fucked up. So I'm going to Cream is going to kind of like hunter whistle, and he is going to cast the slow spell, because he is the guy who is in the substratum under Veilcast, is an arcane trickster,
Mm-hmm.
and he has magical ambush. So since I'm hidden, they all have disadvantage on their on their wisdom saves.
All 4 or all 5?
I can only hit these 3 because it's a 40-foot cube. So I'm gonna pick these 3, so that they're all just slowed down. So these 3 got to make a wisdom saving throw at disadvantage.
Wisdom at disadvantage. Oh, wisdom at disadvantage. Okay.
Okay.
11, 11, 10.
Fail, fail, fail. So they're all under the effects of slow. -2 AC, -2 to Dex, half speed, no reactions,
Wait.
action.
Wait, hold on. Hold on.
I've been casting slow for a year. Come on.
Hold on. All right, -2 AC.
-2 to dexterity saving throws.
Okay.
Half their speed.
Okay.
No reactions.
Okay.
And they can either do an action or a bonus action, but they can't do both.
Action
They
or
have a
bonus
bonus
action.
action.
Okay, cool.
And they
Boom.
can't use magical, and they can't cast spells.
Great.
It might take longer. I don't
All
think they
right,
have any
purple
spells.
dots for the ones that are slowed.
And then I jump into a bush.
You were
24.
already in the bush.
Well, I attack, so I can become. I feel like it
Oh,
makes you
gotcha.
like not. So I'm just like.
All right, you're still hidden. Drix.
Oh Lord, that's a lot. So, at the start of the turn, Drix is gonna use his bonus action to cast Spiritual Weapon.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast it right next to this. I guess I'll do it right next to this spiky lion dog.
All right. Where at exactly? How
The
far?
one on the far right.
Yeah, but like what range?
I can cast it up to 60 feet away.
All right, so like
Finish my
behind Zeph.
No, like I'm gonna cast it like right here. like
Oh,
in
okay,
front of
gotcha. Boom. That'll be the weapon.
So
I don't know
it's
what
a-
it is, but it's the weapon.
It's a scythe made out of bones.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
your token I gave you. I don't know what that token
yeah.
is, but
It looks like radiation. That's cool. And then I'm gonna go ahead and attack with it on this with my bonus action since he's
All right.
within melee range.
advantage. Because it's down.
That is 18 to hit.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is gonna take me a second because it's a lot of dice now. Because I'm casting it in a
18th level spell.
8th level slot. So it is 6, 7, 8d6 or 8d8. 8d8 plus 22.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna roll it in roll 20 because I don't have that many dice.
Roll it up as it beats the crap out of the thirsty dog.
Thirsty dog.
Thirsty
dog.
Thirsty dog, lion, cat?
That's 60 points total.
As it comes down, it beats the living shit out of it. It is dead. Blah.
Oh my.
Well, I just imagine the scythe spins and like shreds it. And that was just my bonus action. Drix is gonna take off running to this one.
Uh-oh.
And I'm gonna melee attack him
Advantage, it's down.
twice. And that's a fucking nat 20.
Oh! First nat 20 of the night.
Yes. I'm just glad Orogth didn't get it. No offense. No offense.
Orogth gets it on Escanor Doom on the first attack, and he's like, I one shot him. Like, fuck!
Get out of here, I'm done.
32. All right. So this is, again, a lot of calculation. 18, 19. For 26 points of slashing damage.
26?
Yes. That was my first attack. And a 17 on the second attack.
Yep.
11, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And a 22 on the second attack.
22 points of damage. It is bloody, very, very bloody, close to death.
Cool.
All right. It is his turn. He's going to use half his movement to get up. That in the reaction, so he has another 15 feet, and he is going to attack Drix with a multi-attack. He's going to first use a Howl of Fury, so everyone within 30 feet, which I believe is just you. Wait, 5, 10, 15, 20. And Orogth. Yeah, just you and Orogth. Both of you, as he howls out, you need to make a wisdom saving throw.
Is that the one thing he's doing? Because he only gets to make one thing.
24.
Yeah. 24, okay.
Wait, is everyone making the saving throw?
No, it's just Orogth and Drix.
27.
And you both pass. What happens? Nothing happens if you pass. It howls, but whatever. You take it like a man.
Yes.
Right?
I feel bad for him.
It's the one right above you, Drix. He's going to run at you, and he's not going to howl. He's going to try to stomp you.
Good luck.
A 15 does not hit. So as you just like stand there as the thing yells in your face, you turn as this
slow motion
claw comes down and you avoid it without even thinking. It's the next thirsty dog's turn, and it's going to run up behind Zeph, giving him advantage on his one attack, which he's going to try to claw her from behind. That is a 13, which is a miss. It is Orgoth's turn.
Oh, this is fun.
This is great.
All right, well.
1 photo down.
I'm going to mosey my way over here. Let's do that.
Mosey.
Where you going?
He's Mosey.
I saved one for you.
Oh, I'm about to kill both of these, so let's just get that out of the way. It's
So
not going to be.
they're like,
much
Zeph's like,
longer.
hey, I'm a little more squishy, and they're like, you got this.
Yeah.
So Scott, I'm going to attack the one that's, I guess, are they both prone or not prone or whatever?
The one with the red dot is prone.
She's prone, yeah.
All right, I'm going to attack the one with the red dot first.
Do you have a 10-foot range, or do you need to?
Those.
What weapon? Yeah, you're. I'm in between you and him.
All right, well, I'm just going to get right here next to. Like, I'm going to be right on top of Drix. I don't even care. All right, I'm going to attack it.
Drix is good at like he
Can you imagine that imagery of just like you guys side by side, just like I got this, baby. I got it.
All right, let's see what I can roll with.
dramatically swooshed up behind.
Yeah.
Does a 27 work?
Yeah, it does, and it hurts. And describe how you kill it.
I'll beat its living fucking brains in. You just watch brains splatter everywhere.
That works.
All right. Next victim. Victim right across from me.
All right.
Does a 30 work?
Yes, it does. Describe how you kill him. Doesn't have that much life left.
I'm just going to wink at it and, smack its skull like a baseball. You're just going to watch it go like 200 feet.
Oh! Escanor, watching from the distance, is going to go, Babe Ruth in the field!
Carrying on his own monster destruction. I got a chaos.
All right. I think that's it, right?
Let's see. Hold on one second. Yeah, that's it.
All right. It's Escanor's turn. He is just going to look at Zeph and say, listen, I honestly think you're quite beautiful, but it's time for you to die. And he is going to... He loves to do that voice, man. I don't know why, but he does this voice.
He does.
I don't know why.
Voice I do. I name him Diego Frank.
All right. Let me see. What is the not too cruelest thing he can do? All right. He is going to point at you and say, I'm going to boop you now. And he's just going to boop your nose and cast Finger of Death. Constitution saving throw, Zeph.
Oh, shit.
Also, I've always hated fighting Doom because it's like, I got low hit points, but my spells do crazy things. And it's like, fuck you, bro. The whole fight was like, I got 18 disintegrates. And I was like, Jesus.
16.
All right, that is a fail. 1 second. Don't worry, it can't be too much.
84
This
days
would
later.
be just the worst psychological.
I know!
Literally, Drix might fucking explode.
Trigger!
He does 51 points of necrotic damage.
Oh, that's fine.
That's not bad.
That's not
I was
bad.
worried for a second. I was like,
Yeah.
51 points. And that is going to, because he attack and his magic flying, so he's just going to fall like 4 inches. And he's just going to silence you and just give you a wink. And it is now your
Gross.
turn as he calls you sweet cheeks.
Ah!
Yeah. You gotta die.
Take this attack on his face.
My hair just almost like stands up straight. I'm just like, don't you ever fucking call me sweet cheeks again, motherfucker. And I'm just gonna take, and I'm gonna rage. I actually have 3 attacks normally. I just looked, and so an action surge would be 4 attacks if I use one of those. So.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna wail on him with my mace.
I will tell you this: only 1 has to hit.
Definitely have to roll faster, really like that.
Time to die, motherfucker.
14.
That's a miss.
Does that hit? Okay. Ooh, 10. It's a miss.
That's a miss.
Oh,
Oh
no.
god. 25.
That hits. Describe how you kill him.
So I miss a couple because I'm just like enraged and I just can't stand him. And I just take it. I'm like, call me sweet cheeks one more time. And I just come down right upon his skull and just smush him.
All right. You have, that was the third one that landed. You have one more attack.
I do have one more attack.
And there's one, I believe only
22.
one more thirsty dog standing.
Great. So I'm just gonna whip around. Is he dead? He's gone. I'm gonna whip around to the other side. It's a 22.
That's a hit.
To hit. And I'm going to just like still screaming from what I did to Escanor, just be like, and you, and just turn around. And it's 26 bludgeoning and 6 thunder damage.
Oh my god. 26 bludgeoning and what?
6 thunder damage.
Okay. 2. Ow, it hurts. Oh, the Super Gigglebutt on Twitch. When Doom was playing, he did a mixture of a Trump voice and a Anchorman voice. So.
And like, yeah.
And it's every day at work too.
Yeah.
So.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, it's time to cream.
Cream is going to knock an arrow and shoot.
All right.
Also, I was doing that weird thing where like I didn't say what I was doing. It's a new character, so hiding, so I get advantage. So I'm making that a nat 20. So
Oh!
I shoot the short bow. I got 7d6 of sneak attack as well, so I'm gonna be rolling. 14
Oh my
d6,
gosh!
16d6 plus 4 for damage. Yeah.
So that last fight, I forgot what it felt like to be a badass.
And then,
I mean, that last fight was still badass, but a different kind of badass.
Yeah.
so instead of me whistling, this time an arrow comes flying through and does 63 points of damage to this.
Describe how it kills it.
Dying.
Just
Damn.
very, very quiet. Like Zeph is like screams, like she hits it, and then very silently and it just falls over.
Boom.
You see, and as it falls over, she sees it going.
Like goes back into the bush.
Combat is now over. Before you is a massacre.
All right. First thing Drix is going to do is he's going to raptor sprint across the field up to Zeph, and he's going to look at Zeph, and he's going to say, I don't think I've told you this, but you are wildly attractive.
I'm there. I'm panting. I have like sand in my hair and like blood on me. I'm like,
Drix is going to kind of growl and like shudder a little bit. Then he's going to look at Doom. And I'm going to check his body first. Does he have anything on him of note or
Magicalness?
Yeah. Like,
He has
detect magic.
of a deck of many things.
Well, I'm going to take that.
Ooh.
He's got I mean, I could rattle this entire list if you'd like.
I mean,
I want something magical for sure.
Just anything of note. Just anything of note.
A bag of tricks, perhaps?
We have a bag of tree, yeah.
Yes, he has a bag of tricks.
He does?
Yes, he has a tan bag of tricks.
I'm going to take that too.
He's got 20 silver-tipped arrows. He's got...
We don't want those.
He's got a pound of Rooter.
I'll toss those to Cream.
All right.
And then
I'll
invisibleness
give
catches
Rooter
them.
to Orogth because he looks like he blazes up. Ah! That was the best joke ever.
You caught
I'm very
me.
proud of that. I'm very proud of that. So is that anything that I would take any notice of? He doesn't have his magical focus, like his card.
Yes, he's got his magical focus card.
I'm gonna take that too.
All right.
What card was it? Is this card different than
Isn't it
mine?
Ace of Spades?
No, this one is still an Ace of Spades.
Okay. And then if that's all he's got that I would take notice of, I'm gonna flex one of my new cantrips and cast Decompose.
Ugh.
So Drix literally like kneels down and presses his claws into his chest, and the body just turns like black and gets covered in mushrooms and just dissolves into nothing.
All
Not
right.
even any bones. Nothing is left.
As his body is starting to decompose and everyone's watching as Escanor finally cathartically leaves this world for the final
You say
time.
that now.
Behind you, in the woods, come running in, is Drix. In his arms is Hina. Just kind of like slams on brakes and kind of puts her down and looks, Drix.
Drix. Does he look like me? Does he look different? I've been really curious about
Is
this.
this not the bird guy?
Because
this is not the
usually
bird
I
guy.
see
I'm gonna let y'all know.
their eyes, so I don't know what they look like.
This one is like, this one looks more like old Drix.
Okay.
What bird Drix said? He trash. He said I would keep an eye out.
He's flying up in the
He's up
air.
there.
You just
He's
see
up
him
there
like
yelling.
circling.
He's just up there yelling.
Yeah,
So I
as you look up, he's doing the.
Hey! I guess birds aren't as loud as this.
Look up here! Look up here! Look up here!
Drix, so I'll stand up and look at Hina. Were you planning on going through this portal? I don't think this portal is usable. Right? It's like up in the air, right?
No, it's on the ground.
Right, but what was weird? What was the whole like
Yeah,
getting
what was
caught?
weird?
So it was like you can go into the portal, but the other world is like upside down in comparison. See what I'm saying?
Okay, so can I like crawl and put my head and look?
Yes, and as you crawl and put your head down, you're actually coming up out of the portal and looking up.
Okay, and what does it look like on the other side?
It looks like you're in the jungle, lots of vegetation. There's like a triceratops just like eating some plants.
Is there any way I could get a sense that it's my world? Like a nature check maybe, or an insight check?
It looks like the same kind of jungle, like you recognize the same kind of plants. But if it's your timeline, it would be it would be impossible without using like, I mean, you could try using your transport via plants.
No, that's okay. So I'll pull my head back up. Was this the portal you were planning on using? Speaking to the Drix that just ran up.
This is where Hina was taken from. Hina took Hina from here, and I am returning her.
I see. And where are you from?
I am from a different time rip, an Emerald City.
I see. Well, I'm not going to stop you from taking Hina back to where she belongs. Drix is going to look at Hina. You're certain that this is your world?
Yes.
Well, I will not keep you from it. Drix, if you are to escort her through, that is your business. If not, we have the Mistress of the Hunt to contend with here.
Thank you, Drix. As she looks out over two of you, and the other one lands the Aarakocra to
Does she
all of you.
recognize me, like at all? And would she have a Zeph back on the?
Yes, but you look so different.
Right. Okay.
I mean, try speaking to her.
I don't know what I'd say. She's a totally different
So,
Hina. Yeah, I'd be like, yeah, we were buds back in the day.
Ask her what the Zeph in her world's like.
I knew your mom.
Yeah, I mean, I could walk up to her and be like, Hina, I don't know if you recognize me, but my name is Zeph.
Zeph?
Do you have a Zeph? Do you have a Zeph where you're from?
That's you, Zeph? You dyed your hair.
I think I'm a different Zeph, not the one that you know from your world.
Oh, right. You know, things are so different. It's crazy. It's still wrapping my mind around everything. Is this where you're from? This time?
Not the world we're currently in, another place.
Were we best friends in your world?
We were, for most of our youth. What about your Zeph? Are you friends with her? Do you still know her?
Yeah. I love Zeph. She's a representative for the Windermere of the Ardenia Council.
Yeah, okay.
I'm sorry if
know.
I'm not, I'm just very confused.
We've been
That's
getting
okay.
that lately.
I'm constantly in a state of confusion.
We've learned it's best to go with it.
Yeah. Ride the wave.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go. I don't feel very safe here.
Is there any insight, anything you may have noticed about the Hina that took you that might be useful? Any bit of information, any details?
When I was a baby, my stepfather at the time, Jin Khan. Rico Jin Khan, was that his name?
Mm-hmm.
Rico.
I was literally just like
Rico. Rico Jin Khan had my mother at a place in the jungle, and Escanor Doom told some bad people that I was a child of a prophecy.
the chosen one. Yes.
Yes. The sons of Chotuku, they took control of the situation, and nothing really came about it. But I lost my mother that day. This Hina, I was very upset, but this Hina seems enraged. It seems as not only did she lose her mother the same day as I did, but everyone still believes she is a god, and she's not. Now, I don't know how she feels. I assumed at first when I met her that she would feel what I feel because we are the same, but I'm really starting to learn that every little second that we live in this world, we are influenced by our surroundings, and it develops us. And she has lived a longer life than I have lived, and she has learned so much more, and it hurt her. And she's looking for something, and I don't know what it is, and I don't think she'll ever find it. But I can tell she's alone, and she has no one here. And I feel for her, but this is her time to figure that out, not mine, not yours. So
Well,
be safe out there.
Perhaps we can give her some insights to help her on her way.
Possibly.
One last question before you go. Do you have an Abza in your timeline?
Yes, he is a son of Chotuku. He is a great ally to Ravenforge and the whole Kol Bradur jungle. Ow.
And the Drix?
Yes.
Curious. Good luck to you, Hina.
You as well. And Drix, I don't know where you are in your time. Abza is a good person. This peacely fight that you guys experience, it's not worth it.
I am aware and in complete agreement. I hope that they are at peace in your timeline.
Yes.
Peace, unfortunately, was not an option where I came from.
Good luck to you. And the name is Jermaine Ambro. He is the one making the clones. Just to let you know.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
I will take that to heart.
She's going
Farewell.
to sit with her legs in the portal and just kind of reach under and just kind of flip herself while holding on. As Drix stands there with you. Well, I have done that. I guess it is homeward bound for me as well.
If that is what you desire, I will not keep you from it. We are bound for Veilcast. That is where the Mistress of the Hunt was last seen. That is where this world's survivors are huddled. I cannot sit idly by if she has machinations to end them. these portals are troublesome. And if she plans on using them to go about slaying those she sees fit, then a stop must be put to it.
Very well. Good luck on your adventures. I wish you the best of luck. I must admit, this is all giving me quite a headache.
I am used to that. Tea helps. With a little bit of ginger.
Yes. As you look maybe a little bit off towards the tree, this little rip appears in the middle of nowhere. Ah, this whole damn world is falling apart. I must get going.
Farewell, Drix. Good hunting.
Yes. Into the jungle.
So I suppose it's to veil cast.
Out of a bush.
I'm gonna flag down other Drix because he's gonna have to wild shape too if he wants to get there. I don't think an Eric Croker's flying speed is the same as mine.
Things 30, maybe 40.
Yeah. So if he can wild shape into the same thing I wild shape into, then
yes. Okay. Depending if I have seen the same animal you have seen.
Well, I'll turn into the animal and then you'll have seen it. So Drix will step forward and that cloud of green liquid mist envelops his body and he turns into the Quetzalcoatlus again.
And so does he. 2 Quetzos.
So I'm going to duck my head down so Zeph can climb up on my neck, and Orogth, if you want to climb up on my back.
Would anyone like to ride me, Cream?
Or Orogth, if you want to ride the newbie.
Cream is already on his back. He didn't even know it.
Yeah, okay. Cream's small, though, so probably both of you. Oh, you could ride like tandem.
I've got Cream on my back.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, my God.
Anywho.
All right, let's take a quick 10-minute bathroom break, and when we come back, we'll arrive in Veilcast. Does that sound fair?
That sounds fair.
All right. We'll see everybody soon.
Hey.
Welcome back to the Adventures in Zeph and Summersong, coming episode 60. We are on our way to Veilcast right now. As you guys are flying on 2 Quetzalcoatluses through the air, you're getting close. And what you see is Veilcast in fire. Flying around it are different pteranodons carrying different Summersongs, different Zephs. You see black dragons flying around, breathing lightning at it. You see assassins flying through the air. There are bombs going off as this 8-foot-tall Nist throw bombs, laughing hysterically. You see this reptile-looking 100 jump through the air, throwing darts, killing this assassin-looking thing flying, and light gets reflected in your eyes as you look down, and there's light coming from the jungle, and somebody is holding something reflecting light into your eye. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna dive bomb to go down towards that light. I mean,
Drix Quetzal is gonna follow you.
All right, yeah.
As you guys go down, there is a circle of Drixes. At least 30.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
As you fly down, you look around you, and you see every shade of the fucking rainbow of Drixes. Some looking more like velociraptors, a couple looking more like actually grown wings. There's one that's like pitch black. There's one that's like 4 foot shorter than the other. Just an array of variants all around.
Zeph is gonna be like, "Am I dreaming?"
From this moment. Anybody seen a Quetzalcoatlus erection?
Oh God.
These are definitely not from my
Feel the
timeline.
fucking earth rock.
I feel the earth.
But
Please.
they're all in like a heavily wooded area. And they immediately come and welcome you, and everybody's asking if you guys are okay.
Yeah, I'll end the wild shape. And I'm a little taken aback. But again, we're just accepting the given circumstances and going with it. And he'll greet everybody. It had to be weird for all of you, yes?
Everyone's like, no.
Oh,
Like,
all right.
"Oh, what are you guys all doing here? None of you are from here. I know that.
They're
I'm from
going
here.
to
What
tell
are
you
doing
that timelines are being ripped open at an exponential rate. As you can see, kind of towards the city of Veilcast, there's you can see at least 6 rips in time from where you are. There is one nearby, and the shorter one that's like 4 foot shorter says he just came from that one. Hina is going from timeline to timeline, finding Drixes and killing them. They have found their way here. They don't understand why, but they found here, and now it seems like all these assassin Hinas are attacking Veilcast.
Oh,
That's where all the
shit.
people live. Well, lived. Wasn't that many of us, and if they're attacking it, they're not really suited to defend themselves, which is why they hide.
They say we've got to do something.
Yes. Have to put a stop to Hina.
How many of you guys have saved your worlds? Just polling the audience. I know these credentials. So just kind of scanning the audience. If we save the world here.
I'm going to lean into Drix and be like, she's singling out you. This is about you.
Yeah.
She's not bringing Abzas in. She's not bringing any other son in.
Yeah.
I mean, Hina's,
Her.
right? Are they hers?
Did.
Something must have happened between you and her in her timeline.
All the more reason to find her and put a stop to it. Have any of you seen or caught sight of the Hina that is responsible for this gathering?
She's somewhere in that mess.
Well, I don't know what you all have collectively done in your worlds, but a good friend of mine told me once that if there were other Drixes, that they would all be badasses. So I expect that you can all hold your own.
There's one that's like bright pink with frills, like lacy collar, like as an old England comes up and says,
Nice.
"Yeah, that's right. I'm here to fuck shit up.
Good for you.
My name
sure
is
it's not my
Drixima."
I'm happy to have you with us.
But I'll tell you one thing. I'm not going to deal with any fucking Escanor Dumalatos.
I have literally a bajillion questions for all of you. But we have to...
That's going to be laughing at them.
Drix,
I'm just so shocked.
Drix is like just very like, okay.
Like, that guy's a lot.
It's a lot.
This is a lot. This is a lot, y'all. Okay.
Not many times Michael is speechless.
It's ridiculous. So, all right, then we need to make plans to make egress into the city and try to find the Hina that's causing the trouble. Do any of you know if Hina is responsible for the tears? Is she actively causing these rips?
None of us know. But we know while we've been here, we've seen a rip out in the jungle appear and she was nowhere nearby, so we assume not. But who knows? And there's like a little tap on your shoulder. You turn and there's a Drix about 5 inches tall with wings. All I know is I was brought in from a little timeline. And in my timeline, Hina is just a baby.
Can I keep him?
No, you can't keep me.
Jiminy Cricket.
It's so cute.
Who does this broad think she is? I'll bite you with my unarmed strikes.
Oh,
It's cuter when it's angry.
it is. I like it.
All right, so finding Hina still is I suppose is the mistress of the hunt. Hina, is she known by that name anywhere else or just here? Would any of you fucking know? Probably.
None of them say they know of the Mistress of the Hunt.
Okay, so can it do by what information we have gathered? Is it safe to assume that is her title here?
Yes.
Okay, so then I'm going to refer to that one as the Mistress of the Hunt. Then we must find this Mistress of the Hunt and figure this out. I don't really know how to do that. I'm going to look at Cream. Any suggestions? Is there any? Where are the survivors in the city? Do you guys have a stronghold of some sort, someplace that she would know to go to?
He points at Veilcast. He's like, "We live under there. That's why I think that's why they're attacking. She had to have figured out that this is where we were. But they're underground. If those people, I don't know them, so I assume that maybe they haven't gotten in yet. But they're underground, under Veilcast.
That is the same as the substratum in our world. Their network was underneath the city. Do you know secret way to get in?
Are there secret ways? Are there other ways to get into under Veilcast outside of?
Roll a history check. Actually, you don't have to roll a history check. You're from there. Yes, you tell me. It's your timeline. Doesn't matter what you make.
Ooh.
Well,
This is a timeline that's in the process of being.
Kind of looks around. He's like,
you don't have long.
We have these secret passageways, and he kind of runs over to. He kind of like vanishes behind a bush for a little bit. He's like, no, ah. He's like, you got these little escape hatches. You can get out of them, but I guess you could use it to get in
This
too.
laser line from the mouth of this large black dragon swipes. You kind of jump back before three of these huge black dragons jump down. I mean, right where you are, you kind of jump back as you see 4 more black dragons appear behind them, flying over as they start to get closer. Orogth's sword becomes burning hot, falls from his hand.
So this hole in the ground right here we can go into if you're trying to get away from the fight.
You still talk.
Otherwise, if you want her to see you, I think the best way to get her attention is to go into the fight. She's bound to come out. She wants.
Some of the Drixes transform into flying dinosaurs and begin to attack the black dragons as the other ones see what's happening and move their way over here.
Okay. I don't particularly want to fight any dragons. I figured that if she were attacking the city, she would be on her way. Maybe we could cut her off before she gets to wherever your people are. But I suppose going into the foray is just as good as any other suggestions.
Perhaps going in, but looking for her. You know, going into the fight, but not fighting, just looking for her.
I don't know how. Yeah.
Well, right now you've got 5 black dragons that are.
How big are they? I mean, we have some experience with black dragons. How do they compare to the black dragons we fought?
They're the same. Relatively the same.
Yeah, I don't really want to do that.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to fight dragons.
Let's go let's go underground. Like
I'm attempt to pick up my sword, Scott.
Huh?
Dragons.
I'm trying to pick up my sword.
Yeah, it's burning hot. You can pick it up. It's burning hot. You got your armor on?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. You pick it up, and it feels stronger than it's ever felt before.
Felt
You
this kind of
okay
magic.
there?
I've never felt this before.
What causes it to do this?
I don't know. This is new. It's like she's close, but with more power. I don't know what's going on.
More her? It's a lot of Drixes. Are you gonna summon a bunch of your birds? That sounds inconvenient.
Well, I don't know what.
I look at the ground.
You know, Drix is gonna kind of look at Zeph. If we hadn't just got done fighting a giant black dragon in space, I'd probably think this was very strange. Uh,
Back up. We're gonna unpack that.
yeah, we're gonna go underground. We're gonna go underground.
All right,
Any of the Drix is gonna look at the other Drixes, but he's gonna trust that they're, they're. If hopefully they're all,
they're
a similar
engaging in fight already.
system. Yeah, go. You're fine.
All right,
let's go.
you two dip down in there. What is Zeph and Orogth doing?
Oh, I'm dipping.
All right, she dips down.
I
Orogth is
guess I'm
standing there
dipping
with
with the sword.
All right, he takes
Going on the ground with the sword.
Takes a sword, dips into the hole, into this creaky, under the jungle tunnel. You hear mad fighting above you as you're going down these tunnels around these alleyways. One of them, there's a hole blasted from the ground. You can see the sky. Water is kind of pouring in, just ever slowly, not like a waterfall or anything. Just slowly, like maybe there's a small creek nearby. But yeah, you make your way inside, and all of your friends and people that you know are hunkered down into the large underground organization of the Substratum. That used to belong to thieves and stuff like that, but now it's just a stronghold.
Is the Aarakocra Drix with us, or did he stay behind too?
He stayed behind too. He's fighting.
Oh, okay. Well, I hope he survives.
We can point him out later. We're like, you're.
Well, he's the only one who's an Aarakocra, so it should be fairly easy to spot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Is there a leader? Do you have any kind of leaders?
Not really. Kind of just a collective of people trying to not get killed by the Mistress of the Hunt is the general vibes. Pass what you know. It's kind of how I learned magic. Yeah. And you kind of like look out and it's like, what would be the most ragtag group of like survivors? Like they're just like a bunch of like random people who like have happened to, roll those nat 20s and not be dead by luck of chance, but like just varying types of individuals. Some with blades and all look like they're like have been through some stuff, but of varying degrees of efficiency for sure. And there's like a memorial wall of like fallen people kind of out in public, but other than that, it's not the prettiest place to see, but I mean
it's basically an underground sewer system.
Did you say there was water nearby?
Yeah, there's like a still water.
I'm guessing it's not like clean or pleasant. Drix is gonna walk up to that water source and cast Purify water to clean it, so that at least they have something to drink.
Into clean.
That's something I can just do at will now, and that's pretty cool.
Everyone's going to be very thankful as everyone's going to start to drink the water.
Oh, great.
They haven't had clean water in a while.
Where might the Mistress of the Hunt try to make her attack? Is there some central location that she might know of that in the underground system?
Attack us?
Yes.
I guess he would just try to get here from.
She was challenging
up
people.
There. Yeah, it's like her. It's not really like an official challenge. It's like if you live, you survive the challenge. But she challenges anyone who she can put her blade inside of.
I am curious.
It's very fast.
Trying to glean where she might make her attack, where a good place to, pose an assault. Is there some sort of arena in Veilcast? Or some central location that she might go to?
Up top, the Veilcast School of Magic does have a kind of Colosseum-esque thing in the middle of the city.
Yeah, there are lots of booby traps up there because people think that's where we are, so we want them to think that. But we all just kind of hide down here. We don't, do much. We're on the up and up. We were on the up and up. There was a moment there when Asgoth was gone and things seemed nice, and then people started to go out, and then they stopped coming back, and then we found out that the Mistress of the Hunt, was doing a thing.
So, are you basically just waiting to die down here? You have no plan?
Well, she'd never been here before, so we were just hiding from her. Now that she's here, that is actively... I kind of look around and I'm like, we're gonna have to take a stand. So
yeah,
everyone here is prepared to. Everyone here is prepared to like die to fight. So
okay,
we weren't really waiting for her. We were just kind of hiding from her. But now that she's here, this is it. It's all of us. So.
Yeah, ride or die.
Where should we pose up to find her, to wait for her? Where up there? Preferably away from the black dragons.
To our knowledge, she just uses like hands and weapons, Scott. She's like not a caster or anything. So like
Right.
I was expecting she's just gonna run up on you, and I assume she'll be walking the halls. She's kind of loud, kind of a "come fight me" type energy. Uh, of anyone she sees, I assume she'll just be wandering around up there until she figures out we're down here. She seems to be really good at tracking people. I'm not really sure how she knows where we are.
What if we head to the Coliseum area and wait for her? Call her somehow.
My only concern with trying to call anyone or signal anyone, we may get the attention of some of those black dragons. But going up above ground where she is actively looking is our best bet of running into her. And the Coliseum is just as good a place as any, unless there's some sort of central town square or the like that she might a place of some location of prominence that she might choose.
Mm-hmm.
But the Coliseum is just as good a guess as any.
Yeah, I think that trying to get her there would be probably the best bet. If you went to fight her out in the open.
This was the only way to get you.
What was that?
Did we all hear that?
Yeah.
Nope.
Yes.
Our heads or in the room?
In the room, like echoing in this like big open atrium of the rock wet stone that's shaking, and you can hear screams up above and stuff. This is under a war, essentially.
I kind of yell out, "Positions! She's here!" And everyone starts to like get up and leaving the water and just like trying to like
everyone's grabbing makeshift weapons and stuff. Obviously, some people like their fighters. Some obviously aren't.
Yeah,
there's some kids.
Drix is just gonna kind of put his hand up, and can we discern a direction that the voice is coming from?
Everybody, roll me a perception check. Unless your passive perception is higher, whichever one, passive perception or whatever you roll.
16.
11.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, 16 for passive.
That's a 29.
21.
Across the way, there's that same shadowy figure you saw before. As you look, you hear, "This had to happen. It's what I was told by the Cockatoo."
Drix is gonna just sort of instinctively move to like ahead of the group and head towards that direction. What is it
I'm gonna follow?
What is it you are hoping to accomplish here, Hina?
The hood comes off, and you see, maybe you expected scarred, mangled, Darth Maul looking fucking face, but instead you see the maybe 80, 90-year-old Ganassi Hina, troubled, definitely emotionally scarred on the inside.
Older than she was when we found her severed head?
Found her severed head?
Yeah, back in our timeline.
Yeah. She was young then.
No, younger. Right? Because that was at least 100 years in the future. That she
this is a younger version of our Hina.
Right. So this would have been like slightly younger. You can't really like tell her age.
Yeah.
So it's kind of undiscernible. And she just lifts it up, and she says, "I know you're the one who killed Asgrath."
So that is true.
You're the only one out of an infinite amount of timelines.
The only one to what?
To destroy him.
And why is it that you have went to such extreme lengths to bring me here?
I've looked for you for a long time. As time has continued to rip and tear from the death of Ostiri. I need you.
But there's a new time god now. I don't... Why is it that you think you need me, Hina? Why me specifically?
Because you're the only way for me to escape.
Where is it that you are trying to escape to?
somewhere other than this hellhole that he has created.
Who?
Asgarath.
Wrath?
I'm sorry, Drix, but the Cockatoo has told me the future. The only way for me to find a home was to find the one who has destroyed Asgarath.
I'm for sure shooting her first.
And to fight you.
To fight me.
I step up and I'm like, I'm sorry. We both destroyed Asgard.
I know, Zeph. But Cockatoo told me, if I were to escape under Asgarath's thumb, if I were to escape his minions that have me on lockdown in this world that he has destroyed, I must fight Drix. And with Drix, his ally Orogth would save me.
Look at Orogth.
Yeah, good. Drix isn't going to turn his attention away from Hina, but he is going to kind of like tilt his head a little bit towards Orogth. Orogth is to save you.
What I have learned of the future, I will not ruin what Orogth has inside his heart. But just know, when the time is right, the Cockatoo has told me what he will do. I wanted none of this, but it had to happen. The whole ceiling's gonna cave in, falling on a bunch of the people as the dragons are circled around, monsters around, as she just stands there still. Drix and Hina, at least, I don't know about you guys probably, but those two at least don't flinch a millimeter.
Yeah, no, my bow is like trained on the Mistress right now. As they're having this conversation,
Yeah.
the moment I feel like this is going sideways, I'm putting one between her eyes.
She says, I would not worry about them.
I can't.
The
be
phoenixes will hold them. This is all as planned.
Hear that?
So the Cockatoo told you that in order for you to escape, you had to fight and, I presume, kill me?
Not kill you, but fight you.
I don't understand, Hina. I am sorry that you have suffered so under Asgarath's rule. It is why we embarked on our quest and ended him.
I wasn't given a choice when I was a baby. My life was already destined for me by that fucking card-throwing lunatic.
Doom.
I sacrificed everything to the Cockatoo so I could understand how I were to get away. You have no idea how it feels. He told me years and years into the future I had to wait and do everything that Asgarath wished me to. I had to kill my own family, my own friends, everyone. He told me this timeline was to be destroyed, and I had to do it if I were to escape. I asked him if I didn't do it, what would happen, and he said nothing but change what I would die to.
What of these portals, these tears, is this your doing?
No. But I can tell you this timeline has the most.
Yes, I have gleaned that much. You do not know their source?
Just gonna reach in and pull out a note and just throw it on the floor. It's everything the Cockatoo told me.
Let me use my ring of telekinesis to pick the note up and pull it over. I'm not sure how much distance is between us, but I'm not going to move.
Like 40 feet.
Huh?
Like 40
Okay,
feet.
yeah. Then I'll use my ring of telekinesis to pull the note to me, and I won't read it, but I'll add it to my inventory, I guess, to read later. Because right now seems like a bad time to stop and read something. Unless I should. Should I go ahead and read it?
I mean, it's basically just going to tell you what she told you. It's going to detail how Cream will find the correct Drix, will bring him in. Drix will need to be persuaded to go out of his own timeline by showing the death and life of himself from different timelines. Orogth must come back to stave back the dragons with phoenixes, and that Zeph must be there to emotionally keep Drix from killing Hina.
I'm going to give that note to Zeph. So you can have it. I don't need it. You can have it. You can add that to your inventory.
There's also a part about Orogth saving Hina from this timeline, but it's scratched out. And she just, as you like naturally get down to that, she just says out loud, I don't want to ruin that for him.
Oh, this is getting spicy.
Orgoth's fate is Orgoth's and Orgoth's alone. But I do not wish to fight you. But I understand the powers of the Cockatoo. I don't want any other worlds to suffer. And if the only way to end this is to fight, then I will.
Orgoth's sword vibrates.
What is going on? This is different. Why are you doing this?
She says, you have to fight Drix, or all of this has been for nothing. I was there when he died. Oakember. I was there. I told him everything. I asked him what I should do. And he told me to do what I feel is right. Maybe it's selfish. But I have a choice between the destruction of time, this time, and myself, and this time, and save myself. I feel like we both would take it. We both.
You hear very visceral, you bitch. And then I'm using Versatile Trickster to have my invisible mage hand tap her on the shoulder to give me advantage, and then I'm putting an arrow into her face as she turns back around. I'm like, this is for milk, you bitch. And I pull the arrow back.
Milk!
Fly.
All right, milk! Roll the attack. What a finale!
Milk and cream.
Oh, milk and cream.
A 26 to hit.
Oh, yeah, that hits. This arrow goes right into her cheek, out of her mouth. Everybody roll initiative.
Oh, shit.
No board for this one, guys. This is all imagination.
She takes 30 points of damage.
30 points? Holy shit.
Yeah.
20.
21.
You selfish words I can't say on stream, even
22.
at
Wait, 20 for Zeph, 21 for Drix, 22 for Orogth. Cream?
22. Me and Drix.
22.
Me and Orogth. What's your dex?
What's my dex? A 1.
Okay, well I got +4, so I guess I go before Orogth.
Okay. And she got a 19, so she goes after all of you. So, with that, I'll let that have been a free action. Cream. Hit her again. Or do whatever the fuck you want. I don't care. But right now, there are dragons heading towards you guys, and they're about to roll right after this round.
Fantastic.
Oh, my first? Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
Let's swing to the highest. Oh, yeah. Oh, then, yeah. Then I will... if I'm going first, I'll keep the insults coming. That was for Milk. You selfish bitch, you killed my brother. And, you know, I'm going to use bonus action, steady aim to give myself advantage on my next attack. So I'm rolling with advantage again. Oh, I guess, well, is Drix within 5 feet?
Milk's his brother!
Milk's his brother? Oh.
Is Drix within 5 feet of are we having a personal conversation? Yeah.
No, they're 40 feet away.
Okay.
40 feet away.
Okay, I know how close we're talking. So another advantage attack. Oh damn, only a 26. Or only a 16, sorry, not a 26. Drunk. Only a 16 that time, so probably misses.
All right. Yeah, it goes flying past her as she ducks this time.
That's it.
Orogth.
Do I know what's going on with my sword, Scott? Do I feel something different?
Your
Like this
sword
radiant-
is like vibrating like super hard, and it's almost like hard to hold on to, and it's like super hot, like almost burning through your fire immune armor.
Wow.
Do you do since like the whole like everything caved in? Do I see stuff around us like outside?
The whole ceiling's caved in, and you see in every direction those 30 dragons are on their way. I'm rolling initiative for them next round.
Do I see any phoenixes coming my way?
You do not see any phoenixes.
Oh man! All right, let's just do this. So, as a bonus action, I'm going ahead and casting Banishing Smite on my Warhammer.
Just
I'm gonna roll this.
Definitely
Let's
do
this.
not see any phoenixes.
Well, that's a
The way
nat
you're saying
20.
that. I don't like the way you're saying that.
You don't see them. Can I feel their heat?
I'm about to have. Oh, it's all right.
Do I
It's-
feel
we'll be right
them?
there in a second. It's
Huh?
cool.
I rolled a nat 20, by the way.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you feel them. You feel them, baby.
Oh yeah. All right, I rolled that, and I'm also going to use not only that, but I'm going to activate Divine Smite
Uh-huh.
in a 4th level spell slot.
Okay.
Oh my! This is a lot.
Are
of
you
damage,
running
so-
up to hit her?
Yes.
All right, what's your movement speed? Because she's 40 feet away.
Oh, she's 40.
Yeah, that's what I say. I think you
I
have a
know she
30.
I can't do any of that then. I'm only freaking.
And you got dragons coming after you next round. 30 of them.
Can I dash or whatever?
You
Yeah, let
can,
me
but
You take an action.
it takes an action to dash.
Oh gosh, dang it! I guess I can't do any. All right, you know what? I'm gonna move 20 feet, and then I'm going to use Chill Touch on her ass.
Does that have a 20-foot range?
I think it's a spell attack.
120 foot.
Nice.
Yeah, contrary to the spell's name, you don't actually have to touch it.
Yeah,
That's a
I
range
always
attack, it's so
hate that
weird.
shit.
So
It's
stupid.
like, yeah, chill
So-
touch from a distance.
From a
What are
distance.
you gonna call it? Let's call it chill feeling.
I guess I'm taking my nat 20 that way.
Oh!
So that is 4. That is 8 d8s.
Nice.
Oh my god.
She's going to take 48 points of necrotic damage, and she has a
48.
skeleton hand that is now attached to her.
Oh my god. All right.
And that is it.
It is Drix's turn.
Oh boy. Okay. Drix doesn't seem like enthused with any of this, but it is what it is, I guess. And he's gonna cast Toll the Dead. But I imagine because it's from stacks, instead of using a bell, he literally just lets out this like primordial screech that like echoes out and then reverberates back and hits Hina for 4d12 necrotic damage.
Oof. I will say about this time, there are different sparks in the air at lots of different points around, like those same time rips. Ba 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 ba. Ba ba ba.
That's 29 points of necrotic damage.
Ouch.
And then hold on, I'm gonna just, as a bonus action, I'm gonna cast Draconic Transformation. So Drix exhales, and that smoke that usually comes out of his body comes out of his mouth exclusively, and it's bright orange and red, like looks like fire almost. And then Drix gets these big fucking horns and wings, and his eyes are, I guess, glow red. as he takes on a slightly more dragon-esque appearance. And then I'm going to fly, let's say 15 feet straight up.
Okay.
And that's the end of my turn.
All right, Zeph.
Okay. I am going to run up to Hina, all the way to her, and say it didn't have to be like this. You didn't have to destroy your whole world. And then I'm gonna take out my mace. First, I'm gonna use another rage moment and rage. And around me do my storm, which I will do. Ooh, okay. Sorry. Cool. I'm looking at all my things. I'm gonna do Tundra. So when it's activated, each creature of my choice in my area. Oh, so no, not doing Tundra. I don't want to do that. That's too nice.
Oh,
Excuse me.
Let's do the desert again. So I'll do desert again, and it'll do 3 fire damage to her right in her face.
Ow.
And
You
and
run
then
up
I'll
to her,
do-
you said?
Yeah.
40 foot?
I was right next to Drix, so I think I'm 40 feet away. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And that's your movement, 40 feet?
Yeah, her movement speed's 40.
Yeah, it's 40.
Yep, you're good.
And then I'll pull out my mace. And
Beat those.
I'd just be like, I would just like some peace for one goddamn moment, and just smack her across the face.
4 times. Bah, bah.
3 times or 4 times?
27 to
Yep,
hit.
that hits.
That's 30 bludgeoning and 13 thunder. I'm gonna come back the other way and hit her again.
Bring it back around. Around town.
That's 22 to hit.
Yep.
do this.
That's 20 bludgeoning and 12 thunder.
Ouch. Yo, fucking tearing her
Then I'm
up.
gonna come back again. 23 to hit. Damn, rolling good.
Nice.
25 bludgeoning and 13 thunder.
Damn.
Hey, man, the digital dice like
And
you.
then
Damn.
I'm gonna action surge and do it one more time.
All right, cool.
We could have been
Oh,
friends.
it's just 12.
Miss.
Yeah.
All right. Was she knocked prone? I don't think so. No, she's up. All right, she's gonna rush
Yeah.
past you, gives you an attack of opportunity. She's
Oh
running
yeah,
past you.
I'll take it. Yep. I'll take a swing. What do I got? 27.
Yeah. Roll that damage.
I've got 22 bludgeoning and 10 thunder.
Okay. Oof, good gosh. All right, yeah, so she's running past, she's dashing to get to Drix. As she gets close, she just, like, you see the sadness in her eyes. She goes, I'm sorry. And she's just going to body you, just running straight into you. I guess her athletics against your athletics.
I'm all right with that.
Doesn't matter. She got a 9.
I was like, she have a good strength. I feel like she's a dex fighter.
I got a 19.
Yeah, all you do is duck and put your foot out, and she trips and skids past you, prone behind you on the ground, on her arms, just on the ground, watching you. All right, I'm not going to roll for the 30 Dragons initiative. They're just going to go at the end of everybody, so you have 1 round before you all die.
Legend.
What are you doing?
Well, first off, I know it's not my turn, but I did transformation. I have blind sight, so now I can see invisible things. Do I see any phoenixes in the sky?
No.
Fuck. All right. No, double fuck.
These phoenixes only come when something happens.
What the? Come on.
Ask the man who has the sword who summons them.
Come on, Phoenix guy.
Oh God! Do I need to? I summon Mariah.
On your turn.
All right, it's Cream's turn.
You're in timeout.
You're gonna die.
No.
Is there anything like around me? There's like a bunch of stuff around me, right?
Like rubble.
Like a thing.
Yeah, rubble. Yeah, definitely.
So Cream's gonna run and slide under something to bonus action, cunning action to hide.
Okay.
Try to give himself advantage, so he gets a 28, and then he's going to
full Hawkeye.
Action. Yeah, it gets really dramatic. So he's running, he slides, and then he reaches his hand out and he goes, "I'll give you the down." And as she's laying on the ground, I use Maximilian's Earthen Grasp and make a giant hand crawl up out of the ground and hold her down. She needs to make a strength saving throw at disadvantage.
Nope, she fails.
Yeah, so she's restrained now. So she's prone and restrained. And so I'm like, if I die, you die.
And she's just looking up as Drix, being like held down by Cream.
I'm gonna hold her down. And then, can I do this on the same turn? Hold on. Saving throws. Choose that. I think I've used on another action. I can do something else. Okay, so that's it.
All right.
So,
All right. Well, guys, I'm sorry for being stupid, and with all this new power coursing through my veins, I summon Mariah.
Every little spark that appeared in the air of this rip timeline burst open, and just tons, uncountable phoenixes, same size, blast out of these portals upward, smacking into these dragons, knocking them back into this Oh, it's scorching now. You guys are really feeling the heat as these dragons bashed back, and a full-on Phoenix v Dragon fight is happening up in the air. So all those dragons are going, their turns are going. Actually, no, I take it back. It is well, Orogth, that was your action. You got anything else?
6, 2, 6.
You know,
Let's just 9 points of bludgeoning damage from that fist.
I'll step 9.
As a bonus action, I am going to cast Shield of Faith.
Beautiful.
On Zeph. She now is granted a +2 on bonuses for AC.
Cool.
Oh, cool. Yay.
Drix, I figured you didn't need that.
Thank you.
He's got like 1 billion HP.
Yeah.
All right.
That'll be all.
It is Drix's turn. She is being held down by Cream, staring up at you. She just mouths the words, "I'm sorry."
How Drix is gonna use his free action? How do we end this? I don't understand.
She can only respond on her turn.
Yeah. Well, first thing we're supposed to fight. First thing what's my path? Like, it's her right in front of me in a stone fist. Is there anything behind anyone?
She's
behind
10
her?
feet behind you, being held down by Cream.
Is there anybody else in her vicinity?
Cream's holding her down.
Well, my thing's a ranged spell, so it's I'm not actually.
Oh,
near her.
you're not actually.
A hand comes up to the
then
ground
no.
and grabs her.
No.
Yeah, I'm hiding somewhere. You know.
Nobody's at least within 30 feet from her.
Okay. Well, just because I want to.
And you have advantage.
Yeah, I'm gonna use as a bonus action use my breath weapon because I have that now. So Drix is gonna screech again, raptor screech. She's got to make a dex saving throw, which I assume she
fails.
She fails
automatically. Yeah, so that's. Let me roll that.
I think she's disadvantaged.
Let me roll that real quick. 6. Nope, that's the wrong way. 6d 8 plus 11. So that's 33 points of force damage.
Ooh.
Uh,
Oh God.
and then as a bonus action, I'm going to cast Spiritual Weapon again
Okay.
at a 7th level slot. I'm not going to attack with it, though. I'm just
All
going
right.
to cast it. So, again, like a scythe made out of bones materializes, sort of floating and just idly spinning around in between me and Hina.
All right. Zeph, she is 50 feet away from you. What are you doing?
She's 50 feet.
Yep. 40 feet away from you is Drix, and then 10 feet on the other side of him is her being held down.
I'm gonna run up next to Drix.
And I remember I'm floating up. I'm up in the air a little bit.
Right. Okay. Fuck, I don't know what to do. I don't want to kill her. I mean, I'm mad at her, but
You can always hold your action.
yeah. I'm just gonna yell up to you. I'm here if you need me. And then I'm gonna hold my action.
All right, so Tina's turn. So from the ground, she's just going to say, she's like kind of woozy, blood's pouring out of her mouth, like a big black eye, being held down on the ground. And she says, Drix, I'm sorry, but this only works if I'm able to attack you. She's being restrained, so there's really nothing she can do. I guess she can't jump 15 feet, even if she did get up, I guess. Can you jump 15? No.
Yeah, her speed's also 0 because she's restrained.
Yeah.
The restrained she got 0 and can't take benefit from any bonuses to its speed.
She's just gonna tell you. What was the question you asked her? Did you ask?
How do we end this?
She says, "Just let me attack you," and she tries.
She makes a strength save to try to get out of it. To 16.
She failed. It is the dragons are fighting the phoenixes. It is Cream's turn.
Cream's putting an arrow in our friend down there. 22 to hit.
That hits.
Oh, y'all are gonna have to make me reincarnate this bitch again.
Listen, maybe she'll come back as a better person. Because she's like, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna keep shooting her. 29 points of damage.
Oh God.
From under the table.
Okay.
And that's it.
Orogth.
How far is she away from me now? Since I moved 20 feet, she moved how much more?
You are 40 feet away from her now.
She would be
40.
Yeah.
She's like,
Yeah.
Constantly just chasing her.
Yeah.
She's on the ground stunned.
I guess I'm going to cast Chill Touch again, because go 120 feet.
Okay.
Does a 27 hit?
Yeah, it does.
Beautiful. She is going to take 18 points of necrotic damage.
She dies.
Oh, God.
My turn.
If Orogth is done, combat's not over because there's still dragons. So, Orogth, are you done?
Are you
I'm done.
It is Drix's turn.
Drix is gonna fly over to her and cast Spare the Dying.
It just is one action.
It's just one action.
Okay, so she's brought back to 1 or 0. She's just not permanently dead, or bring her to 1. I can't remember.
She becomes stable.
All right, so she is stable.
Yeah, so she's not like dead.
All right. Yep.
I mean, if she might be unconscious, I know you can.
Yeah,
read
she's
into
unconscious.
That. Okay.
but she is not dead.
And then I guess as a bonus action, god damn it, I'm gonna cast Healing Word. Because I gotta, obviously she's gotta like stab me or something.
Summersong's spell ends on her. I mean, unless the spell dictates it does anything to a dead body.
Oh, cream! I said cheese.
Oh, Summersong, cream.
Cheese.
Cream cheese.
I mean, I think I'm the one holding concentration on her, so I think it's just like this hand around her body. It won't crush her or anything, but it is like physically holding her there.
Gotcha.
I can choose to make it squeeze her.
All right, hold on. I need to calculate how much I'm actually.
But Cream has no intention of letting her survive. Just letting everybody know that.
She
destroyed his life.
She wants to kill us all. She's like, I want to kill everybody here so I can have a good life. And I'm like, that's not a good trade. Everyone else's life for your own. So bitch, gotta go.
But she did say it was going to happen. I mean, she did say it was going to happen either way.
Yeah, also, I really want to fuck up her fate and be like, you know what?
Yeah,
you don't get to hit Drix, and now you just stay dead. We'll find a new Hina, bitch.
She regains 28 points of health.
All right, she is at 28. She is conscious. She is prone. She is held down.
Restrained ass.
With my free action, then I you better get your lick in quick because I don't think they have any intention of letting you leave here alive.
They're gonna be able to move. Like,
well, I mean, I would, I don't know. I can get her out of these restraints. This is going to take me a couple turns.
All right, Zeph, your turn. Seeing him bring her back to life.
Oh, we got a Rooter redemption.
Main player advantage. No. Okay, so you know what? I will let you all be main players tonight. I will roll a d6. Michael, oh no, it's 4 of you. That's fine. Michael Williams is 1. Oh yeah, you're right. A d4 is better.
Thanks for that.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes, Michael Williams is 1. Michael Jackson is 2. Mariah Johnson's 3, and Frank is 4. It is 2. It's Michael Jack, the one who's trying to kill her.
Oh no!
You have advantage. All right, Zeph.
The god has spoken.
Shit. I've just witnessed him bring her back to life, and I'm just like, fuck.
After essentially you helped, I mean, you did the majority of damage.
I did the most damage, and I'm just like, what is happening? So very confused, Zeph. Can I smash the hand? Can I attack the?
It's like a magic hand. It won't work unless the only way you can do it is if you break his concentration.
Yeah, his concentration.
Yeah, his concentration.
Are you really gonna do that? Oh, finales are great.
I might do that.
Start the pot.
What?
Shit.
You're trying to hit me? What are you talking about? If you find me, roll that perception card.
Yeah,
I'm definitely hiding.
He's hidden. He's actually hidden under rubble right now.
Like hiding
hidden, he's under rubble. I was like,
I'm always.
But
I cast spells from hiding.
besides spitting at you, there's nothing she can do.
Jesus Christ. Fuck. I mean, I guess I'm gonna like. Fuck. I can't do anything. All right, so I guess I'm just gonna like use my actions to. So I'm gonna go to Orogth and be like, hold, don't attack her. Like, trust me, Orogth, trust me. And then I'm gonna turn to him and be like, stop Cream from whatever he is doing.
Years.
Okay.
I have feelings.
And then I yell over to Cream. I was like, I'm sorry, but we need this to end. And for some reason, it can't end with her dying.
All right.
And that's it.
Disadvantage, right? Did you say disadvantage on her strength saving throw?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, not anymore. Now it's just regular.
Oh,
now it's just regular. I was like,
fuck
what?
yeah.
I have to know who you're talking to. I was like,
Oh, nat 20, baby.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Wait,
nice.
does that? I can look at her sheet if 20's not good enough.
Oh no, it's a 16.
Oh,
It's
okay.
16 DC.
Boom. All right. She's
Boom.
still on the
Let's
floor.
go.
Is that the end of her? Does it say at the end of her turn or the beginning of her turn?
It says. It doesn't say. It just says to break out, the restrained target can make a strength check against your spell save. On a success, the target escapes and is no longer restrained by the hand. So I guess you get to choose if it's gonna be before or after. I mean, it seems like an action, but she can still. I mean, since it doesn't say, I assume she can still do other things besides make another action. But she can get up and.
I just think
Yeah,
it
it
would
doesn't
be
say explicitly, so
Yeah.
interpret it.
story-wise, I want it to be a bonus action. But any other time, it would be an action. It's a bonus action, damn it. This is finale love.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's do it.
She's going to use half her movement to stand up and then go 10 feet forward.
I'm right beside her.
Yes. Oh, yeah, she's going to stand
Yeah,
right
I
up.
flew to her.
She's just going to take her fist and try to punch you.
She's not even armed.
I mean, she is, but that is showing you something.
Oh,
Oh, jeez.
I could take it. Stab me, bitch. Let's go.
For me, it comes from a distant corner. Bitch.
She misses.
Oh,
She misses.
hey!
I mean, I guess you can willingly, like, go in the direction of her hand so she hits you. I mean, if I'm from here to the wall right now and I go to punch,
Yeah, I will.
those rolls are under the impression that the person is trying to dodge or evade it.
Yeah, I mean, I look at the same thing as like it's a reaction. Like you can do lots of things on reaction. You know,
Are you going to use a reaction to get in the fist way?
I will. Yes, I will use my reaction to move in the way of her fist.
She punches you right in the shoulder. Does like 2 bludgeoning damage. The dragons, you hear roaring up top as the phoenixes fight them. It is Cream's turn. What are you doing, Cream?
In this turn, but if she looks any kind of sus way, I will be placing an arrow into her. So she gets a turn.
Fair.
But I'm like, all
Right.
right. I still don't like her mentality.
Orogth.
That everyone's static.
I don't
I'm gonna
either.
look
I
at
beat her
Zeph.
down.
What are you doing,
And
Orogth?
I'm going to tell her, I believe you. And I leave it be.
Drix.
I hope that's good enough. That's all Drix is gonna say, and
Zeph.
I'll hold my action.
Zeph.
Nothing. I'm just gonna stand there and just shake my head.
She is just going to look Drix, not breaking eye contact with Drix, and just say, Askareth did everything. I just had to stand by his side and watch. Everyone freezes. The dragons freeze. The phoenixes freeze. Falling rubble freezes. A fucking bug on the wall freezes. And there's silence. Everyone's able to move their mouth and their eyes, but they can't move their head. Everything else is frozen. As slowly, from across the room, this bright little colored hummingbird flies across the room into the middle of the room, and people slowly start reversing ever so slightly, and you just hear from the hummingbird, gonna have to fix this. Too much time is fucked up because of hysteria. Gonna have to fix this. And you just hear Hina yell out, just for Drix. Drix, you have to understand, this had to happen.
You're a bitch, shut up!
Screams yelling from under rubble.
You're still a murderer!
I didn't want any of this, but it had to happen. You don't understand. You're not gonna get a Hina in your timeline. Drix, please. Slowly that hummingbird just turns into a Summersong with his arms crossed. And he just looks over at everybody. It has made such a damn mess. All of time is ripped apart, and I'm going to have to put all these pieces back together. Oh, hey, guys. And everything kind of freezes going back. How have you been?
Can we speak?
Is it
Yes.
our summer song?
Yes, you can speak and your eyes can move, but your body, everything else is frozen.
Settling into your new position, I see.
Mm-hmm. You have no idea. And now you guys over here fucking with time, too?
Someone said there was a god that needed slaying, so
We
it's
had to oblige.
kind of our thing.
Here we are.
Well, don't worry. I'll put everything just the way it was supposed to be back, and I will close these time rips, and no one will ever jump from another time again. I've created the Time Hunters.
It's clear that this world does not need its Hina, and this Hina does not want to be in this world. Can she come to our world?
No.
But
Please,
why?
her.
There,
God, please.
I have seen an infinite array of times, and there is a balance in each timeline. You don't want things from one timeline to be jumping to another. You don't want anything to be messed up. Everything has to be the way that it is. I'm putting everything back. That's the end of it. She just yells out, please! Please, Hummingbird Man!
Summer Song.
His name is Sir Urva.
Sir Urva, Summer Song. Take
What?
me in her place.
What?
Let her go and keep me here.
Wait. Orogth! First of all, hey. Second of all, what are you doing here? Third of all, you want to switch places with this bitch who was trying to kill everybody? I've seen time, and this happens every time. Why?
She needs to go home with them. This is my choice. Will you do that?
Well, I guess this timeline doesn't have an Orogth, and their timeline doesn't have a Hina. So it's kind of just a one-for-one trade, I guess. But this timeline is, like, about to, like, implode. Like, you're gonna die.
That's fine. I've done what I had to do. I've lived a good life. I tamed a phoenix. I helped my friends. It is all good. I'm at peace with it.
Orogth, you don't have to do this.
Yes, this is what that note said. I feel it in my heart. This is what I have to do.
Okay, well, look, we fought a lot of stuff together, and I've seen a lot of stuff. I guess I can do you this one. But that's it. After this, time will be closed. You will never be able to go to another timeline. It will be separate. Time will be singular. Okay?
Good.
That's
Good.
what it's supposed to be.
Are you... I'll give you one last chance to get out of this, Orogth.
I made my decision. I'm at peace.
All right, well, congratulations, Hina. You're going with them. Any last words? As he goes to about to snap his fingers.
Before we depart, I'm going to... Do they hear me what I'm about to whisper into Hina's ear? I'm going to whisper to her and give her the sword and tell her, don't let my family get this.
How did you move?
And give this to Zeph when you guys get back. And I'm going to hand her something else. Those are my last words.
Okay, well. He's going to snap his fingers, and Summersong just disappears. Everything starts to reverse. The time rips kind of go back together before everything goes at an exponential rate before you're back in the office of Tree that you made at the Ardinia Kingdom. Hina stands there with you. There is no time rip behind the armoire. The armoire is moved.
In Naomi's or in Zeph's.
In Zeph's office, yeah. Excuse me, in Zeph's office. You stand there. Hina has in her hand a sword, a note. And she moves the cloth over, and it's a little moon pie. And she just puts it on the desk and just puts her arms around Drix and starts to cry and just says, "Thank you. Thank you. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry."
Drix will take a second, because goddamn. and then he'll hug her back and glance over his shoulder at Zeph. We should find out if Naomi is still in the building.
Yes. Zeph just walks over to the sword on the table.
And there's a little note.
What
The
does
note
the little note say?
reads, "Dearest Zeph, if you are reading this, it must mean my time has come and the world is safe. I never was one to portray what people call feelings, but I felt over my time with you my feelings to growing stronger. I never knew how to tell you, but I wanted to leave this note for you with this moon pie. I've been saving for you since I met you. I hope you find everything you're looking for in this life, and I know I will be watching over you. Farewell,
Oh,
Orogth."
Aww.
oh, that's the cutest. Gonna kind of like, I think my back is to Drix and to Hina and like wipe some tears away from my eyes.
Drix is gonna like kind of
Eat the note!
let go. Drix is gonna let go of Hina and go to the door and open the door and see if he can find an attendant.
Yeah, there is an attendant, down the hallway you call out and they're coming towards you.
Yeah, and he's gonna tell.
It's
is
actually
Naomi. Evan, is Naomi still in the building?
She was just about to leave. Would you like me to get her for you?
Please catch her as quickly as you can.
Can I get that form?
Yes, Drix will grab it with his tail. Put it back out.
Put it on the form.
Oh, thank you! She's gonna take the form and go down the hallway. Give it about 10 minutes before she's back. Maybe smaller.
All right. Jesus Christ. Drix is gonna turn back into the room, I guess, and Hina and Zeph. Weird.
I want to look at Hina and just look over at her and I'm sorry I raged out on you, but I had no idea what you were doing.
I don't blame you. I've seen a lot of shit, and I've been through a lot of shit. I've been in a prison of hell my entire life. It was the only way.
I'm so sorry about that for you. I hope you can find peace here. Your mother's here.
Mom?
Yes.
Yeah.
Around that time. Yep, okay, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Don't know what your history, all its details, but in this world, I put a stop to the assassination of your mother. In this world, I stopped them from taking you, the ones who thought you were the chosen one.
So it's true what the cockatoo said. In all the infinite of time, you are the greatest Drix that ever lived.
I don't know about that. That tiny one seemed pretty cool.
I was just about to say that. He seemed pretty cool.
Hina?
I have had the benefit of good friends. Not something that is very common, it seems, among the Drixes.
Naomi walks around the corner.
Drix is, when he sees her come in, he's just going to get out of the way.
Hina and Naomi just look at each other for a second, and there's like a moment of great fear between them as they very cautiously walk towards each other, before they just run and embrace and just hold each other, and Naomi just begins to weep, and you just hear Naomi saying, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." Naomi's like, "I should have never made you go to North Wall. I'm sorry." As they embrace, Naomi is going to take Hina out of the room and out the hallway. It's just you two.
Just gonna stare at Drix for a second.
Drix is gonna kind of like he's gonna touch himself a little bit and like this is a really happening, right?
And I'm gonna run up and like put my arms around him and
He's,
just like really squeeze tight.
yeah, he'll for a second and then like relaxes and slumps,
And I'm just gonna be like, just go with it.
and he's gonna hug her back. Well, that was a lot.
I think we've been through, several lifetimes worth of trauma for us.
It does certainly seem that way. I'm glad that we weathered it well. Something that Hina said struck a nerve, and there is still something I would like to attend to, if you would permit me a selfish request.
Anything.
When we received our parcel from Brohoko, he spoke of my druid master. My memories of him that stem from old Drix had him dying once already, but that apparently was not the case. If he came to Kol Bradur to help and passed here, it is only right that his remains are disposed of appropriately. I would like to find his body.
Of course. I'll go with you anywhere.
Thank you, Zeph. I have a strong inclination to visit the Black Tribe. Feel like he would want to be among his own kind. And while he was some subspecies, I believe, still think he would go to the Trents. If his body is not there, then they at least may be able to point us in a more appropriate direction.
Okay. At some point in all these things, maybe we could just find some time to be.
I would like that.
Zeph and Drix remained council members with their own people who would go back and forth for them if they needed, or Drix would just fly up to the coop of his room. Drix was able to find the remains of Oakember among the Trents and give a proper burial at the Black Tribe, who swore on their life they would make it sacred burial grounds that would never be touched by anyone but him. The tribes came together and told of the mass evacuation of the Fae from the jungle back to Born Freon, and the tribes came together in solidarity with Drix, vowing to always be honest with him and to communicate with him directly, for he now spoke for the tribal country amongst the kingdom. The kingdom was fair to the tribal country and to the jungle and to the dinosaurs. Emerald City began to prosper, and so did Veilcast. Brohoko became one of the top magic sellers in all of the jungle. Northwall became a haven for hoppers and for all those who were different in the city that moved up and down the wall. And then, one at a time, I will let Drix and Zeph tell us what happened to them until we see their next adventure.
It's kind of a loaded question, ain't it?
Floor is yours.
We can take turns. You want to take turns?
Yeah.
All right. So the first thing that Drix and Zeph decide to do is, visit the remains of Drix's village. What's there, to sort of pay respects to the last bit of the old life that sort of tied Drix to Kol Bradur, and set up a little shrine of remembrance, an altar to Stax, and made sure to pass any information, pass along to anyone that they passed, in the area, that there was an altar to Stax there now, and people could go there to commune.
Zeph?
After that, they travel among the forests and the jungle, and the mountain range. And they decide to create a home. A druid grove that Drix made, where they found a giant skull of a ancient T-Rex.
Yeah, we're gonna have to talk about that, Scotty.
I love it. Yeah, tell me what happens. This is you.
And they create this giant grove within the T-Rex. It's all around it. So they make a home for themselves.
They spend a lot of time exploring the expanse, which is an uncharted, open world, sort of myth a little bit. Nobody has been able to traverse it and come back.
Never.
And nobody's ever come through it. They do actually learn quite a bit about why that is, because of the harsh terrain. Basically a mountain range made out of salt. Nothing grows there. Nothing thrives, nothing lives, and the range is so vast. It's just beyond the cinder oak forest, and the heat above it creates this sort of permanent tempest, a storm, so you can't even really fly above the mountain range safely. But they discover a series of crystal caverns underneath the mountains. There's a whole group of race of people called the Shardkin that live down there, and they spend a lot of time together, just exploring the expanse and charting and making maps and communicating with the Ardinia Kingdom to tell them that the world is a lot bigger now, and that there are a lot of other peoples and a lot of strange occurrences going on, and that it would be best to establish routes of communication, that the more together we decide to be, the better off we will all be, because that's the importance of tribe.
Meanwhile, the Ardinia Kingdom builds a memoriam and a memorial for the Second Coming. Depicts all the warriors we have seen come together to protect the jungle. Word travels around Silvernell now that Wilkie Tittle has brought East and West Side together. Machinery is built because Born Freon never leaves. It stays. Machinery and monorails are built back into the kingdom and to the jungle, and a monorail system that goes down into Born Freon. Trade develops between Born Freon, the East, and the West. Everyone around the world hears of their bravery and their generosity and their kindness and wisdom. And everyone wants to become a hero now. Hero academies build up along every coast, every mountain range, every jungle point. The world is abundant with heroes. It seems villainy and darkness has faded from the world of Silvernell. As for the next 130 years, there is nothing but light and joy. The end. In a month, we'll begin Campaign 2, called Dragontooth Academy. It's right here. And also announcing the second DM ever in Silvernell, Michael Williams, with Zeph, with Zeph too, Mariah, playing Zeph.
I'll be there.
And I'll be in it
Zeph.
too. Are starting,
Maria.
Maria and Mahita and Mahuta, starting a campaign called The Expanse. Details to come on when that will be.
Yes. Details to come on when that will be. But The Expanse is a ever-growing world now, since Scotty has given me permission to just populate it. And I have something of a overactive imagination, so Zeph and Drix have a lot of adventures to get into, and we're going to need some other adventurers to help us chart all of this space and find out what's lurking underneath the expanse.
So if you're listening, whatever medium you're watching this on, we will be having auditions soon for Dragontooth Academy. I don't know if there's going to be auditions for The Expanse, but just spam Michael Williams. Maybe he'll let you in. Who knows? With that, also, we have episodes of Fallen Tundra every other Monday. I want to thank everybody for this journey you've gone along with us for 14 months. Every week with these incredible players. From the bottom of my heart, guys, thank you so much for playing.
Thank you for having us.
It's been great.
Ain't over, ho. You ain't done with us
A
yet.
blast.
We're just gonna change faces.
I'll see
and
your
still
ass in a
bully you.
month.
Gonna bully you every week. Never gonna stop.
If you're watching us on Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, in the future on fucking Google Glass, for the last time for this second coming, have a good night. Bye, guys.